I said, sup, bitches? We got a lot of epic matches going on today, so let's get to it. This is day 2, the Gears Pro Circuit Las Vegas Open. It starts now.
Las Vegas Open. This is day 2. I'm your host, Veli. I'm here with PR, Trooper, and Immortal Spawn. Guys, how's this event been so far?
It's been crazy. From the open bracket to the first round of pool play matches, I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, yeah, what game really caught your eye yesterday?
To me, it has to be the Ghost versus Fable match. You know, 6-3 tiebreaker map. Fable's up. 4 straight rounds Ghost had to win. And in that route to win that round, Speedy did not die a single time.
Oh, it's absolutely
Around
crazy.
170 time dead. That's impressive.
Oh, yeah. Well, these guys are playing for a prize pool of $200,000. First place, they're going home with $80,000. Second place, $40,000. PR, why did we stop playing?
I honestly don't know. I'm still looking for a team, guys. Anybody want to hit me up? Let me know.
Yes, but other than the money, we have some great matches going on. Our first match of the day, we have Echo Fox going against Mind Freak. PR, what game are you looking forward to watching?
I've actually got to be this one, the one we're casting right now. I've been a huge fan of Mind Freak since Season 1, and I expect, them to put on a little bit of a show, but I don't really know too much.
Oh, yes, in our feature stations, we have some great games as well. We're starting off with Ghost Gaming against Aspire Trooper. Which game pops out at you?
Well, actually, the one that you mentioned between Ghost and Aspire, I think Aspire has a lot more that they have to bring to the table in this game. Ghost, obviously, as you said, had such a great day yesterday, such a strong finish, and really is going to set the tone for what they're going to do today. So I think as they finished in the last event at second place, coming into here, they know that they have to bring their A game by far. It's going to be a long day, but for them, they're going to try and just, put things exactly as it needs to be in their favor. They know that they're going to be early done today. Once they're done this game, they're going to be smooth sailing into tomorrow probably.
Yes, and speaking of a long day yesterday, as we take a look at our open bracket teams, we have teams such as Aspire and Mind Freak making it to pool play. Congratulations. Immortal Spawn, what do you have to say about our open bracket?
Look at this. Open bracket losers right now. You're looking at the bracket. I'm pulling for FYC Esports, baby. The OGs, man. I would love to see them come out and break it into the champ bracket. That'd be amazing.
I know one of the teams, it's not in open bracket anymore. They actually made pool play. Obtruse Esports. A team that's relatively unknown. No one would have expected them to be there. Accelerate, Sio, Dynamic Jedi. I do believe that it's also Robber, and I don't remember their 5th. But, this shows as a Cinderella story. You know what I mean? A lot of these teams did not expect this team to make it out. I don't even think they're in the top 8 of the open seeds. So impressive.
Oh, yes, and as we take a look at our poll play, everything pretty much went how we expected, correct? We have Optic Gaming on top, Echo Fox on top. Were there any surprises to you?
The Juggernauts are doing their thing, and you can see just the preparation and what they do to get here. But for me, the open bracket in general and what we experienced yesterday on Friday is my favorite thing at Gears, man. I just fall in love with the game, once again, every time I experience all the passion. And for all you at home, thinking about getting into the scene, there is nothing like competing at a Gears of War LAN. Let me tell you, it is the most hype experience in esports ever. You really have to get out here and experience it for yourself.
Yes, with the new open bracket teams making pool play, which team do you guys have your eyes on the most?
Mind Freak for me. Probably a fan favorite.
Not Godplay's
really
team.
I really don't know how to feel about them, considering for a while, they were Team Gates. They're, failing to make it out of pool play, picking up God plays. You finally make it out of pool play, but I'm not impressed because that's what you're supposed to do at this point.
Well, I'm definitely excited. Like I said, it's any given Sunday or any given Saturday in this case. I am very excited with our first match coming up soon. Echo Fox against Mind Freak.
First match of the day. Let's get this going. Mind Freak. And of course, the opponent. We've got Echo Fox. So, back in the pools, on the main stage, how you feeling?
We feel good, man. Like, so the amount of practice we have to come in and beat the team we did, we're really proud of ourselves.
Do any kind of special preparation for the main stage?
Not really. We tried to watch some video last night and TV didn't work.
Right on. And so I'm curious, you guys do your homework on this team? You got any special strategies you want to share?
Nah, like we don't have any special strategy. We're just gonna play our game and dominate.
Right on. Well, I say, as Dom would say, it's time to do this. Shake hands. Let's get it on.
What more can we say about Mind Freak? Okay, there's a lot of talk about Jim Bob. Who exactly is he?
He's probably the guy in Australia, in all of Australia. Jim Bob, he, competes with his heart and soul. He doesn't necessarily, get a name for himself as much as he probably should.
Yes.
But Jim Bob, he can slay, he can power weapon, he can support, he calls out IGL, and he's just all around.
So he does it all.
In
Yeah,
Australia.
and I think like some of the things outside of the game that you want to see in players, and he's somebody that'll hype you up, and he's a fun person to be around, and that's a teammate you want, right? You want somebody that's going to be fun and able to keep the energy high and make sure you guys stay focused. So he's just a great personality in general.
Yes, and on the other end you have Echo Fox. They were a top 2 team until Ghost Gaming beat them in Mexico. But do you think that they've done anything to prepare for this event?
I know Echo Fox has, they have a little bit different dynamic because they have 2 coaches. They have Prison Death and they have Ryan Fools. And, with that team and what they can do, I know that speaking with Ryan and speaking with Solars, preparing for this event in general, they're letting them loose a little bit more. They're going to be focusing on, they have the skills to do it. So look at the risk-reward plays where they may have taken them a little bit slower and methodical. They're going to push you. They're going to play to their advantage. They're incredibly skilled players, the best in the game, and we're going to see a little bit more out aggression from them.
Yes, as we take a look at our map bans and picks, first map will kick off on Harbor. We have Lift and Tiebreaker, if needed, will be reclaimed. Trooper, what should we expect?
Well, I think coming out here on Harbor, right off the bat, you're going to see on these initial fights, right at the winch, you're going to want to control that middle part of the map to overlook a lot of the angles that you're going to have more of your opponents tacking in. Once you start the first round and get that position, since the respawns are so tight, you're most likely going to go to that 3 cap, especially on a map like Harbor that's so open. A lot of people are going to be making some pretty important rotations early on in the game, right before more of the power weapons come into play.
Yes, with the #1 Australian team going against top 2, top 3 in North America, what should we expect from this matchup? What are your predictions?
I mean, it's going to be hard to predict for Mind Freak to win, considering what they're going up against in Echo Fox. But I do think if Echo Fox slept on them just a little bit, we've seen this happen time and time again, where the team comes out, wins the first map, and then they have all the momentum going for the rest of the game.
Okay, Trooper.
I think for this game, it's pretty much going to be Echo Fox for the most part. I mean, I do have a lot of faith in Mind Freak, but at the same time, Echo Fox, like they said, they're coming here, they're just going to play their game, and they know exactly what needs to be done.
I want to see Mind Freak just come out with confidence here, and Echo Fox to me is they're like the Patriots in Gears, right? I mean, they're just so prepared, they're so disciplined, but everybody can take an L. You find that way and build your confidence, and Mind Freak got to show up this morning, got to.
Well, it's possible. We saw upsets yesterday with Rise and Ronin.
Yep.
You never know, like I said, any given Saturday. But I say we learn a little bit more about Mind Freak.
The best thing about Mind Freak, I think, is our determination to win against all odds. We've come into this as the underdogs. We know that. We come from the weakest region. We go against adversity. We always try and better ourselves as much as we can in every tournament. But we want to show that Australia can bang with the rest of the world.
So if you're a mind freak, if you're the captain, what are you telling your team as you go against a juggernaut team such as Echo Fox, a team that's been in almost every single championship game in Gears 4?
I think one advantage that they have is, they don't get to scrim these teams that much. And when you get to sort of keep your strat book and your plays to yourself, and, you play your region or you play teams that you might not be competing with at a tournament, that's a huge advantage for you. Okay, they don't expect what's coming. So if they can sort of come out with some surprise strats here, that's gonna weigh in their advantage.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's something that a lot of teams come in, like we seen it yesterday with Motivate. Maybe Optic didn't really throw the playbook at him at first, and you kind of maybe even Ghost versus Fable, where Ghost probably was sleeping on him a little bit in the beginning. And this is a trend that we see here in Season 2. I've seen it a little bit in Season 1, where these teams necessarily, when they make it to the top, they may not do the same things that led them there.
Yes, when it comes to keys of victory, if you're Echo Fox, what is it, and who will be your X factor?
Pretty much just stay business as usual. With everything that worked for them yesterday, they're going to have to just do a little bit more today. Since it is such a long day for a lot of these other teams, they're in the driver's seat right now at the top of their pool. So the way Mind Freak coming in here, I think with Pool B, we did expect a lot more out of all three of these teams in terms of all the pools together. I think it was a little bit surprising just seeing how everything unfolded coming into today. So with Mind Freak taking that 4th spot in the pool, they have a lot to prove right now, and we're going to see what's going to go down.
It's quite funny because when you look at Echo Fox, you look at players such as their in-game leader, which is Franchise. This guy has been top 2 basically his whole career. Okay, since Gears 2, he's played second in his championships, but also in Gears 4, he can never really seem to consistently get first. What does he need to do to take his team to that next level?
They need to adapt to different play style in Gears 4 a little bit more. And as I mentioned, their preparation for this event, I think they're going to be doing that. If they're able to let loose the skills that they have and force fights and play to their advantage. A lot of times you want to just be smart about a play and you want to say, hey, we have this 2v1 or I have this 1v2. If you win that 1v2 and you can win the round, sometimes it's worth the risk, right? And because they have those skills, I want to see more of that from Echo Fox at this event.
So when you say they need to let loose, there's been a lot of talk that, okay, Toy Soldier hasn't been playing the same and whatnot. Who do you want to see more of? Who needs to step it up?
It's going to be Solars for me.
Solars.
And, I talked to him a little bit, and he's feeling, I don't know if it's the update or whatever it is, but he's on a different level right now. And, hopefully that they can find those opportunities. And it's about being smart and aggressive at the same time. And if you can sort of combine those two, that's what Gears 4 is to me anyway. It's about being smart pushes, smart aggressive plays, risk-reward plays. And, yeah, you might lose 3 of them, but you might win 1, and that's going to be a round. And that's really what counts at the end of the day.
Yeah, all this talk about Echo Fox, though, let's switch on over to the Mind Freak side.
Sure.
We talked about Jim Bob, but what about Dub and Bondi?
Okay, tell us a little bit about them.
Dub and Bondi are, I talked to these guys a lot, and Dub, I know he can slay just like Jim Bob can. I've seen him go off with the M-bar. And then Bondi's right there. I'm not saying he's a support player, but he's always backing up his team. And he's always in the right place at the right time. And then you got Mercer and Hectic rounding it out and just doing everything else that needs to be done.
Yes, when you look at games such as Motivate against Optic, when you're going against one of the best teams in the game, you have to consistently be good. You have to be fearless. Do you think Mind Freak could have learned a little bit from them when it comes to facing Titans in Gears of War?
I think after you're done competing, the main thing to do is immediately go and focus on all of your opponents, the people that are still competing. The best thing to do is learning from your mistakes is to watching as much game film as possible. And there's a display everywhere of all different kinds of the best teams here. So you're not going to get a better source of a learning source here than watching all these teams that you might have a chance to cross later into the tournament. So when you have a team like Motivate that had such a close game against Optic yesterday where they almost toppled them, it's going to be hard for them to try and overcome that, but it's going to be important that they stay mindful and just worry about today.
I think that things can be better for Mind Freak to kick things off on Harbor, a map that's real wide and open, Immortal Spawn. What are going to be the keys of victory on this map?
Yeah.
Is it team fire or individual work?
Yeah, it's such a team-oriented map where, look for these plays for winch control. You want to get height advantage in Gears of War, and Harbor is one of those maps. If you can control the top part of the map, you can dictate the flow. You can play for homes or you can focus on B.
Yes, what can we expect from Echo Fox on this map?
I know they like to play for wench, and exactly what Rob said, where they get that wench control, they get the stern control, and then they kind of like to play for B at the same time. And that's usually what the standard strat is. Once you get that wench control, you're able to rain down on B. So usually what teams are going to do is they're going to get the wench, and then they're going to move for B. It's usually so hard to go for B without that control because, let's say, for an example, Echo Fox has wench control, Mind Freak has B. Echo Fox is going to be able to just angle them out and then slowly but surely get those kills.
Yeah, and it's going to be important for Echo Fox actually to get as many of these power weapons in their possession as possible to dominate this game and keep dictating that flow on Harbor. When you have a team like Mind Freak coming in here, they're going to want to try and dictate what they're going to do later in the game by switching up the power weapons well out of the ordinary.
Yes, with day 2 underway with the Gears Pro Circuit, Las Vegas Open, we're going to kick things off with Echo Fox against Mind Freak. Trooper, PR, take it away.
All right, here we go. Escalation on Harbor, as you can see here. It's going to be very important to take control of this top side of the map. PR made a great point there. It's going to control everything that your opponents are going to be doing coming out of the spawns, and you're going to want to make sure that you can force them into areas that they might be a little bit less comfortable. Here in the early going, though, as we begin on this game, 10-second respawns, no weapons, straight up initial fights right now. Who do you think is going to come out on top, PR?
I think that Echo Fox on the book should come out on top, but like I said, if Echo Fox is sleeping on Mind Freak, they're going to be able to hit him back, in the face. But if we look at this overhead map, we're going to see very standard strategies. 3 to the boat, 1 tapping hill, 1 down low. We're going to jump on board, dubbing up right here. He's going for this wench. He throws the smoke, force off. Better smokes by Echo Fox. They actually get his first blood. Franchise taking out Dub, and he's actually going to follow it up with Solar. He's getting a kill on Hectic. Praise finally going down, but the damage has been done on the side of Echo Fox. Mind Freak trying to do what they can. Mercer going down as well, so Echo Fox starting off strong.
Yeah, that side of the fight where the wench is so important. It looked like that Mind Freak actually had that right-hand advantage, but Echo Fox was able to get the best of them by utilizing the smoke perfectly right there. So now we're following Kyle to make his flank all the way around to that spawn hill now on Mind Freak. He's getting behind as he throws that smoke in. It looks like that he's stunned a few more members. He's able to pick up a lot of support fire from his teams, and it looks like they clean them out quickly to pick up the trick stab domination and take this first round.
They are showing they didn't sleep on Mind Freak as, normally teams might do from other regions or just lesser known teams. And so great first round by Echo Fox. They got that first initial kill, which paired it with another one. Even though somebody did get taken out, the damage was done. They used their numbers, they get numbers, and then they immediately put pressure. And that's something you don't normally see from our lower tier teams. They don't know when to turn on that switch and to just push to the other team's side because they're on respawn. 10 seconds, especially if you're on boat to their hill, 10 seconds is a ton of time to get into position.
Absolutely. And that initial fight at the wench, it was very interesting with Mind Freak having that advantage on the right side. But actually backing up a little bit, Echo Fox forcing multiple players, actually giving them the advantage in that top of the point. So it forced them a little bit back into a fight that they really weren't ready for right off the bat. And as you can see, they took a little bit of time to actually, most of the time they could, to put the first weapon down. It looks like double hammerburst is going to be on the map right now. Do you think there's going to be anybody specific that's going to be utilizing this the best for the team?
Probably the home hill for each player, which is probably going to be, I don't really know who caps the homes. It's Jim Bob versus Kyle. Apologies for that. But I want to see more plays made by Mind Freak because they got 1 kill as a team in this first round. And Jim Bob's, like I said, he's putting down that support fire. He's going to rotate over to B. But it looks like doubling up, trying to make things happen. Bonnie taken out. Dubby trading a kill. Hectic getting one as well. Lots of trades going down. So very hectic first round. And Dub making it happen. Gets another one. Now he's in another 1v1 against Praise. What is he going to do? It looks like Praise is going to be the aggressor. Showing no fear. Dub taking him out early on.
He wiped 3 right there. He was the only man remaining and then ends up staying alive long enough. His teammates coming out of respawn and getting a beautiful triple kill there. Switching now down to the low side there towards the boat. We have Kyle backing up, trying to make sure he waits for his teammates and gives a little bit more space between him and his opponents as he throws that smoke. He's going to take that wide angle now, try to force him out with those hammer bursts. And it looks like he gets a Hectic actually in a bad angle here. And now Hectic knows he has to kind of move around back up. And now with him being down, one more member of Mind Freak has to make that push in. But it looks like he gets a turn there and gets 1 kill as well, but down with that hammer burst. Kyle did not move his position, and he made a great play right there. You can see the double kill finishing off Hectic and securing point B.
Great plays by Kyle to make something happen out of nothing right there. But if you look at the hill being decapped, it's going to be Echo Fox or Mind Freak, the only one getting points, but Echo Fox with 2 hills in their favor, and they're looking like they're going to try and angle out and play for C as well. So possible triple cap coming out on the side of Echo Fox, but as I say, that A is also being decapped. You know, typically we don't see very much action like too early on in these rounds, but only round number 2, we probably got around 20 to 30 kills on the side of EchoFox.
Yeah, and as you can see right here, they know the positions that they need to try and get the best opportunities to slay here. They're not going in head down. They know that they have to pick up a few of these angles. Their best opportunities are going to be in that chaos. Once their team has to move up to save one of their teammates, a lot of the smokes might be coming in late on that action, and you're going to see a lot more of these pushes. So right now, though, we're following back and forth between these teams as each one of them are still holding position. No one has made the move yet, but it looks like it's only seconds away as Dubbing runs down mid-wall here. He's trying to make a push, but he has to get out of the way, somehow surviving with his life as he's getting away from that Lancer fire, and now taking a wide angle here, waiting for that push, and he knows that he has to back into that C-hill actually right there before the trip cap went up for Echo Fox. They were only a few moments away from stealing that, but with a couple more down for Echo Fox, Mind Freak, it looks like they got the bearings back.
Yeah, but if you look at the score, it already looks like Echo Fox has an opportunity to win off one, even though B is being decapped by Mind Freak, and they even pick up a kill on Praise, but they need to start gaining momentum, and they need to start pushing forward. If you look at the map right now, you know, Fran and the rest of the members of Echo Fox are all at C, so another hill being decapped. If I'm Mind Freak, you need to make sure that you just be aggressive. Just make sure you get in the face of Echo Fox, but you also got to make sure you're winning the shotgun fights. As you see, Mercer's already dead, respawning, so this is going to be a hard push for Mind Freak.
Yeah, right here, Jim Bob's going to have to hold that B position, and putting in those shots that Bondi can actually make the finishes on those kills. He's actually very smart now to make the push-up as soon as he did. Perfect timing to save his life, but I don't know, is one member of Mind Freak actually going to be able to get into that circle before the 200? It looks like here comes their push that they're going to be trying to make with the smoke coming in. Multiple members down, and now the trades are coming back and forth. Hectic picking up a kill, and with Toy in the madness here, almost surviving, getting taken out as well. But it came out Echo Fox on top after that intense melee right there.
You know, after almost 3.5 minutes in round number 2, you kind of got to, and if you're Mind Freak, take those little victories. You notice round number 1, round number 2 was a little bit closer, and then round number 3, maybe they're in the game right now. As you see on screen, Jim Bob probably talking to his team, and a lot of communication going on, trying to figure out the strats and how they're going to adapt into this next round.
Yeah, we have actually, you know, with a lot of teams that are going through open bracket, even for example, or teams that make into the pool play, they have to worry about when they do scrims, you know, try to scrim the top teams as much as possible. You know, that's the only way that you're going to improve, see anything different that you're not used to seeing in your usual gameplay or the opponents that you end up fighting.
Yep, and you know, you see Mind Freak, I want to see them take control of the game with their weapon placements as well. If you're going to be losing these rounds, you got to put something down that's going to get you into the game. You saw the first round hammer burst. I'm okay with that because it's something standard. You put a support weapon on the side and just make sure, you know, you don't dive too deep into what happened on the first round. Because, you know, something simple as, you know, a bad shotgun fight or something like that, you know, you don't want to throw down a boom shot over something like that.
Absolutely. I actually expect them to come into this next round, probably put something down more to utilize like nades. I think that might be the next step for Mind Freak to try and spread out this game a little bit.
I want to see more confidence from Devin. No, I want to see more confidence from the rest of the team like Devin had.
That was a beautiful play.
That was beautiful. I want to see the rest of the team step up in that sense. Also, I'm going to see more team fire introduced because these guys do not scared to push these fights. But if they can get on the same page and shoot for each other and let Dubbing absolutely go off like he did in the second round, that would be beautiful.
And that shows a lot actually about Dubbing. When he's put into that position, being the last alive and able to pick up that triple kill with
so
that high
big.
pressure,
So
that's going to
big.
just tell you what he can bring to the rest for the rest of this match.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to need his team, though, to follow suit, and I expect him to do that.
Oh, yeah. But on the
Especially, you know, Praise was actually being the aggressor when that 3-piece. Praise was the one making things happen for the team for the most part, but then all of a sudden you see Dubbing Up not afraid to go one-on-one with Praise, and he actually took him out in lieu of that 3-piece.
Yes, but on the end of Echo Fox, I mean, it's pretty much business as usual. The team fire is on point. I think that this is extremely important for them moving forward and gaining that momentum in this tournament. Your thoughts on Echo Fox? They're pretty upset that Mexico had happened. How do you see them progressing in this tournament?
Well, they're so used to playing in grand finals. Like, everybody's so used to seeing the Optic versus the Echo grand finals. So once Mexico came, Ghost had that opportunity against them, leaving Echo Fox kind of in the wait and knowing that they were going to have a lot that they had to work on. But, you know, I think with the position that they got in Mexico was probably the best thing that could have happened for them going into the later portion of this season, just because with them not getting that prominent placement that they're used to, I think they're going to do everything that they need to change up their game, maybe not get as complacent as usual with a lot of their strats, and it's going to work out, I think.
I want to give the people at home a quick update on our feature station. We have Aspire going against Ghost Gaming. Top of your head, who do you think is winning?
I mean, on paper, you got to say Ghost Gaming, no?
Okay, Aspire, they're up 2-0 right now. I've been watching on the side. God plays 10 kills in the first round. He went 10-4. Also in the second round, Blast, 15 kills. How big is it that these teams show up to these lands and absolutely go off to make a name for themselves?
I mean, that's really surprising. But at the same time, when you see a play like or a player like God plays, you know, with him as crazy as he is when it comes to slaying, it's something that you're gonna see pretty much out of him, guaranteed. Coming back and really just it's almost as like he never forgot anything. Just like riding a bike, he picks up any weapon, he knows how to use it to his strong point. And it works out for his team, and I think they're really going to be able to carry that same momentum with him.
So the funny thing about when we look at Aspire, they have a whole bunch of New York players, and okay, we make fun of them. They head down, they rush in wildly, but that play style with the right roster actually works. Blaze Now was saying it yesterday. This team is scary as hell. PR, what do you have to say about this Aspire roster?
I mean, they've always been scary. Like I've said from Team Gates, like it doesn't surprise me that they're here. That's why I'm not going to mention them too much as opposed to like Mind Freak who comes from Australia or they have Truce Esports. But this team, I was actually watching them play a little bit yesterday, and they were getting hyped. They were getting in your faces, and I gotta say, like you were talking about that God plays in Blast duo that's getting to a form. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with as long as they can continue it on.
As you see, Ghost Gaming just stopped the domination that was pressured by Aspire. If you're Ghost Gaming, you're down 0-2 right now because the team that's as furious as this, what do you do?
You just gotta go back to basics, play your fundamental Gears of War and just play like that way. Right now, you possibly feel that Ghost Gaming could possibly be sleeping on Aspire, probably don't really have respect for them coming out of the open bracket, so they thought they were going to steamroll them, and just look at that, tables have turned, as 3 members are already down for Ghost Gaming.
And see, that's another point, they have to just keep playing their exact same game that they've been playing. A lot of teams have to do that once they have their strategies so perfected, because once they start losing, once things really go out of whack for teams, a player might try to be more aggressive in a situation where they shouldn't be. You might have a little bit more of a desperation coming out. But that's what you have to just stay mindful, knowing no matter what the score is, worry about the current round and just keep playing your game.
But if you're Ghost Gaming and you know that you're you're arguably a top 2 team, do you think that teams on that level will overlook teams such as Aspire and Sticky Bandits and whatnot?
Absolutely, and I think that that's great for teams like Sticky Bandits and Aspires, because once they face these types of teams, it's going to be really a lot of unorthodox styles that they might not be used to with a lot of these teams really mixing up such great players. The dynamics for a lot of these are going to be strong against more of these top teams in the pools.
Yes, so there's a player playing in this matchup right now. He just came back to compete. God plays. What more can we say about it? I know that he's played with some really top-tier teams in Season 1.
He's excited to be back. I've talked to him over the course of his return, and he's so excited to be back. He had a different roster in mind formerly with Sticky Bandits. He had a little bit of difference with Demo coming out with this team that no one expected to even be doing what they're doing right now, is they're threatening with another triple cap in our screen. They could possibly go up 3-0 over Ghost Gaming.
Okay, so we just saw Rivs basically just go in the open in a 1v2 situation. Is this typical Ghost behavior?
When they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they're cold. It's one thing that, I expect, possibly if you're any coach for any team, once you start realizing that your team is staggering their respawns, they're not playing as a team, and they're just going in individually, you probably just got to tell them, hey, stop, slow it down. Even if you're hiding in a corner, wait for all 5 to get up and then make your team play.
3-0. 3-0. So Ghost Gaming during the offseason, they've done a lot of practicing, a lot of boot camping. What if they changed coming into Season 2?
I think the problem is they didn't change much.
Really?
I think they still have their hyper-aggressive playstyle. Fatal Strike is bringing in a couple new strategies to the team, but their core is still there. The core playstyle for Ghost Gaming is still there. So that's why I think a lot of the teams are catching on. If you see the competition is a lot closer, you bring back the Optic versus Motivate game, that was close. Ghost versus Fable, that was close. A lot of these teams are getting closer and closer because they're learning each other's playstyle and learning how to adapt to it on the fly.
Yeah, I spoke to Fatal Strikes yesterday, and definitely a lot of great ideas, a lot of really genius plays that he has been utilizing and bringing into his team for all their boot camps, for all their practices and scrims, and it's really showing a lot of, really how that's adapting for the squad. But right now, as you can see, Spire coming in, just throwing a wrench and everything. They're tearing them up, and not just these initial fights, but they're winning all these power weapon fights. They're already up with 3-0, and now looking like they're going to get another trip cap right now. This is absolutely unbelievable.
Not like this.
And I don't know I could be confident in saying anybody really expected this.
This isn't a game right now. Okay, off of initial, Aspire immediately, they pressure Ghost Gaming. It's like Ghost Gaming never has a chance.
I'm looking over at him right now. Everyone on Aspire is almost standing up. Let's go. Letting Ghost Gaming know that you shouldn't have slept on us because we're going to wake you up right now.
They might as well play the rest of the game all standing up at this point because they are getting hyped up over there right now with this 4-0 lead. This is absolutely incredible for them to come into Saturday, start off so early on, so hot. It's really going to have a lot of teams trying to think like, man, I don't know if we're going to have to cross their paths. What do we have to do differently?
I mean, this is beautiful. When you look at teams come into events that they don't place top 8. I mean, they go against teams such as Ghost Gaming, Equifax Optic, and they actually put on the show. That's big because you never know when you can go to an event and your team is going to go off. That's why I stress to people, go to events, make a name for yourself. My first event, I played with our analyst, Immortal Spawn. We got, what, 18 players? 18 players? But then, you know what, after that, we kind of went our own ways, but then we kept going to events, making a name for ourselves, and that's what's actually important. You never know what's going to happen at LAN. Yeah. Ghost.
I saw the passion and the drive from it, and
amazing.
although it gave me a few gray hairs along the way, he has the capability of becoming a leader in the scene. To me, he learned so much, and I saw him develop last year, and the team that he's compiled here, God Plays can be a leader and really succeed in this circuit. So I'm really happy for him. Excited for him.
Do you know what I admire about God Plays in this? A lot of people have egos. They say, okay, I've placed this before. Why would I want to team with you? You've never placed top 8. God Plays came to this event. He's playing with Aspire. A bunch of randoms, essentially. And these guys are taking Ghost Gaming, down right now in the first map. It's pretty big that people are able to put their differences aside and their ego and their pride, team with these guys and actually go off. What does this say about the underground community in Gears of War?
I think the underground community has always been talented. And even you have so many players talk about recycled talent, they're picking up the same players over and over again, and I need my shot. Well, guess what? Why don't you just take that shot with somebody else who's claiming they need a shot? And no one wants to team with each other, they just want to jump to the next top team. No one wants to work for it anymore. And that's something that you got to admire about God Plays, working his way up the ladder, showing that I'm a force to be reckoned with. After having, to come back to the game, he's doing it all over again. So that's something that you can take from God Plays, anybody at home. Just play with who you feel confident with and build that team, build that chemistry, and then you can come in, make pool play just like God Plays.
And it's really as simple as that. Winning a Gears of War is really just comes down to a formula. Like, you need to know exactly, every team has that main slayer, they have their support players, they have their shot callers, and once you can find what your strong suit is and just lean into that curve, you can find it makes it a lot easier to pick where you're going to need to fill in those gaps in your team and know what pieces that you're missing of the puzzle to bring it all together.
Yeah, team building is such a unique thing in esports, and at some point in your life you realize you have the skill and you want to play with people that have the same goals as you. You want to play with people that want to win with you, and if you find yourself playing with your friends and they're just not willing to take it to that next level, it's a tough decision. But everybody at some point has to make it. And you look, I gotta play with these guys. They want to put in the practice. They want to grind with me. And you really got to play with people that have that same mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there, that was a really risky play with that pickup in the center of the map on the boom. I thought there was actually going to be multiple members of Ghost going down, but only there was a trade-off in that process. I think the boom's still on the ground, and you can see this fight now coming out for it as Ghost winning that last round, finally getting on the board, and it's setting it up now for them to bring in a big comeback here, which I don't think Aspires is going to leave their foot off the gas quite yet.
Okay.
So we're going to see what's going to come down right now.
But you saw what happened yesterday with Favorite. That's all what happened yesterday with Fable. You cannot count this team out. If any team were to come back, it'd be Ghost Gaming.
Yeah, I can't doubt that. But with the way Aspire's, starting off so early right now, obviously Fable doing the same thing. Fable needing to get a little bit better at closing a lot of those later second half rounds. Right now, going into the second half, we're going to see literally right now from here on out how Aspire is going to attack that and see if they can do something differently.
I just want to say one thing after watching this match so far.
The
I
boom
need
shots.
every one of these players to go into a private lobby and practice some boom shots. I've seen some questionable boom shots that it's just like, what are you doing? And you saw it on screen from Rep Solid right there. Instant kill that you should get with that boom shot. Just you completely whipped it.
It doesn't make sense because a boom shot can completely swing the momentum of every game. Every game. And you can't whip booms like that. So you have a boom shot for the guys at home. Okay, we all want to stack the kills, but you can take the boom shot for the right moment, okay? Don't use it for the easy kill. Use it to break setups, okay? Use it when you're going for the domination. That's what you have to use it for. Don't just shoot it wildly and whatnot. Play your pistol. It's okay. Don't rush it. But how important is it to capitalize on power weapon gameplay?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, especially with the boom, is that should be 2 kills, and those are guaranteed kills. And another thing about the boom shot is that it can move your opponent, and you just show it. You don't even have to have rockets in it. If you just move the boom shot and walk around with it, yeah, and you're just like, positioning yourself in the map, and you're sort of just showing it in the middle, clicking it, it definitely can scare some people away, and you got to think about that sometimes, especially if your opponents aren't, keen the fact that you have any more in there. So,
who the hell would have thought Aspire would be a 5-1 against Ghost Gaming? Making a statement.
As we heard yesterday, and it's true for Ghost Gaming, their biggest enemy is himself, and they can't take these losses, or they can't really fall behind. They just have to focus round by round. The team is so good on paper; they are so talented. They can take a championship, but they can't fall down. Of course, everybody's going to drop some rounds here and there. They just have to stay focused.
Don't do it to them, Blast. Okay.
I think Ghost Gaming needs to trip cap this round. If they can't pull that off here, Aspire might run away with this map. This is going to be the best opportunity to come back, and as you can see, they are only moments away from that happening. This is going to be their opportunity for the biggest momentum swing of the match, but right there, only 1 second away. You had members of Aspire perfectly timed coming out of spawn and able to make that push to finish off that kill and actually win that fight and then continue on in this round.
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't feel like they need a triple cap. I feel like they need a hard-fought win to get their teamwork in line, because right now what we see a lot of individual pushes. We see random 1v1s. They're not playing as a team like we saw in Mexico. So going for the triple cap, I mean, it's not cute, but they need to get their teamwork in order. They need to team fight more and play for each other, because if you're taking a look at Aspire, they're wolf packing with shit. You can easily counter that, okay? So Sleepy needs to sit his team back and Fatal and say, okay, listen, we have Speedy Rushing, we have Identities, I'm Sleepy, but we also have Lancers. We have to shoot for each other and play for each other. A team that plays for themselves like that. I mean, Ghost Gaming, they basically plays top 3 all the time with individual skill, but it's teamwork that really takes you to the next level.
One thing I want to point out, especially to see if Ghost wins this round, with the weapon placement that Aspire's going to put down, I almost want them to throw boom shot right in the middle. You want 5-1 going into the half with the boom shot in the middle. You're getting it most of the rounds. Obviously, you might not be putting it to use like you should, but that fight is what you want. It's not necessarily the boom shot. You want to force that same type of fight, the same type of strategy going into the round. But where you see them hovering over shock, maybe they're just confident in their individual, or not individual, but in their base level gameplay.
Yes, with Echo Fox on main stage, Ghost Gaming down 2-5 against Aspire. I see this top 3 shaping out here. And is there another team out there that you think can break into the top 3 like E United did?
Well, yeah, E United was a great story, coming in and building that squad that they did, and I think that they found exactly the niche and the team that they've been waiting to take that top spot and overtake Optic Gaming. But I really coming into it, I'm kind of was excited to see Fable a lot, pretty much how they played yesterday. And I know with the way that they played, a lot of people might be speaking up more about some team, maybe like Supremacy in the EU, maybe being that new top team. But I think it's way too early to say something like that. Right here, it's going to be just more of these heavy, intense gunfights today that you're going to see way more than yesterday. I think the aggressive plays are really going to start coming out of the woodwork.
See Ghost getting control of this round, though, so far. So maybe the momentum is shifting. Maybe they just had a slow start. Like I said, sometimes you typically see that when these full play teams are going against the open bracket team that makes it out. It's a slow start. Maybe map number 1 isn't what anyone expects it, and then they pick it up in map 2 and 3. But at the same time, you just don't want to lose map 1 for no reason. You don't want to fall into a hole early on in the map for no reason. It's just something like that where you just need to pick it up from the beginning and don't allow yourself to fall into a hole, because if you pick it up too late into the game, all they might need to win is one, as you can see, 2 rounds, and then it's over.
Well, Gears War is the biggest game when it comes to momentum. We saw yesterday we were game on 3 rounds straight to the Fable. I mean, you really cannot ever count a team out. You can't allow to give up meaningless rounds, because that round that you lost can give other teams the momentum boost that they need to just wipe the map.
Other than Optic Gaming, would you say Ghost is probably the best squad right now, at least in pools, that have the tools that are built for a comeback?
No. I don't want to show favoritism or anything, but Echo Fox, in my opinion, has the most complete roster. You have a great in-game leaders franchise. The guy's been studying the game for a decade. You have players like Praise, the MVP. You have Solars, arguably one of the best slayers in the game. Their whole roster makes sense, and they're team-oriented. So when you have a bunch of slayers that shoot for each other and play for each other, and they understand the game in a textbook manner, to me, their team makes the most sense. And if you ask me, I mean, their team makes more sense than Optic.
It all comes back to that formula. You need the shot caller. You need somebody that specializes with the power weapons. You need those support players in the right areas. And also with support players, the best thing about, well, the best support players know where they need to be at all times, and they really don't have to worry about much direction from their team. So that's really the best thing that you need to worry about when you're looking for somebody to fill that role on your squad.
What you know about Ghost Gaming, I was talking to Sleepy this morning, and they understand what they have to do in order to improve. Okay, they understand they have to team fight. They understand that they're not there yet at the top. They're still fighting for it. They don't feel like anything is given to them. Right now, Aspire is 1 round away from winning. Rushies with a boom shot. PR, what's going on here, man?
I don't know what's going on with these boom shots, man, especially since, like, early on, the play in general, I just want to speak about that with Rushy. You get the boom shot, it's a 1v1, and you go to the other team's home.
He didn't have to die.
You didn't have to die. You didn't even have to go to the home. You can go to the neutral hill, and your team spawns up, you get your hill, and then you have a setup with boom shot. But instead, you know, you overextend, you play too aggressive, you waste the first boom shot, and then you end up dying afterwards, so it really meant nothing.
And it's really hard to come out of a situation like that. When you have 2 boom shots and you shoot this first one prematurely and waste it essentially, you have 2 guys pushing you right away in that situation, as he had. And he knew, since he only had more, or Ghost knew that since there was only 1 remaining, you know, and he had to fire that remaining shot only at one of those guys pushing, one of those remaining members of Aspire were guaranteed to pick up that kill.
Gal plays with the great heads-up play. He was in 1v1. He saw his teammate. He backed up with the Lancer. To me, that's what makes players special, okay? They're not greedy for the kills. They understand, okay, I have help coming. I don't have to fight this alone. Unfortunately, he was killed, but still, that tiny difference matters in games like this.
And I saw a couple of times yesterday where there were teams that picked up the boom shot, shooting it at someone that their teammates are shooting at with lancers. Instead of pulling out their lancer and trying to continue that down, they essentially waste a boom shot.
So they're shooting
where they
boom
really
shots
didn't
at
have
everything but the enemy.
Right.
You know, it's still in this match. 6-2 Aspire's up. It's going to be a long, hard-fought battle if Ghost Gaming wants to pull themselves back in the rest of this map. But, you know, it can be done. We've seen it before, 6-3 yesterday. We've seen, you know, even Optic come back down 5-0. But, you know, at the same time, you just need to start winning your battles, individual battles, and then work into a team effort. Because right now, they're playing really individual. It's just not working out for them. But Sleepy Time with the next boom shot, you know, hopefully he does it better than Rushies, and I think I've seen Repsol do already.
See that right there? They're in the 2v2 situation that turned into ultimately a 2v1. Speedy and his teammate, they didn't capitalize on that. They were still split. So that's where the breakdown of communication comes into play. When you see that, especially if you're a veteran player or a leader or one of the best players in the game, you have to call that out, okay? Listen, let's focus on the guy at home hill. Let's bang him out. Let's pull out our support weapons, get wide, get rid of that kill, and then handle the next 2v1. That's a difference when it comes to the top 3, the top 2. Optic, they play that well. Echo Fox, more than often, you'll see them always go wide with a support weapon.
Yeah, and you have a guy on the team, say like Kyle, who's so good with a weapon like Markza. You know, you have a slick guy. Well, yeah, without a doubt. I'm not saying he's terrible at everything else, but with that Markza, you know, specializing with being able to get so much damage in those shots and essentially using it, you know, almost as you know, a semi-automatic rifle with the way it works. You have so many of your team, you know, are actually focusing on one guy when you have a power weapon like that, and you're going to get so many more people down so much faster, break up a lot more of these fights that you run into.
3 seconds away from winning this round. So they have to go ahead and pick it up. PR, if they lose this one, does that hurt Ghost Gaming in any way?
I want to say yes, but at the same time, no. It all depends on how the atmosphere is after the map. If Fatal Strike can bring them back into it, if they're, you know, it's a hard-fought battle, maybe they can bring it back 6-6. If you lose around 13, maybe it's not as bad since you know you put yourself in a hole. But you know, it's kind of hard to tell right now, simply because we didn't even expect to see this.
You know, and if this ends up if going into Ghost's favor the next few rounds, that actually might be if they can't finish off that final round, that actually might be Aspire's best chance to win this, because the way they started so hot, winning those fights so fast, all they have to do is come out in that round 13, do that one more time, and they have it wrapped up. But I know they're definitely going to try and cap this off now. They don't even want it to go push it to that far. They're trying to get to this next map and end up putting a pin in this one real quick.
You don't. This is something that we saw yesterday. I mean, Ghost Gaming, you know, they have this tools to actually come back when it comes to this. But if you're Aspire, you don't want to let go. You don't want to let go. You want to force dominance on the team. You want to let them know you're for real. You don't want to give this team any chance at all to think, okay, we have a chance against these guys. We brought it back. No, you want to let them know, okay, you know, we're big daddy now. You want them to know I'm God, but he's one of the best players in the game, and you don't have a chance against him.
Yeah, and his movement is almost second to none too on the map. You know, you see the way he moves, and you know, if him playing alongside other players that can work and move just as well as him, it makes it so much more difficult for these teams, especially when they're putting in support fire rather than them trying to hit them from afar. Usually, it forces a lot of those guys to force and go head down into a lot of these fights that they're really not trying to fight. And there you can see, Ghost starting to creep back now, using his power weapons.
Don't worry, this isn't what you want if you're Aspire. At all.
We're talking about what happens if, like, Ghost loses this map, right? You're up 6-2. What happens to Aspire to lose this map? What kind of deflating does that do to your momentum?
It'll be a 2-0. It'll be a 2-0. Because when you're a team and you're going against, you know, a titan like Ghost Gaming, and they come back and beat you like that, I mean, that's going to break your heart. That's a really nice drop right there. But that'll break your heart. It'll be hard to fight back from that. Because you know what you're going to start doing if you're a younger team? You're going to start pointing fingers. You're going to doubt yourself and your team. You're going to say, how did we allow this to happen?
Yeah, and when they get this close, or if they're even able to get a map on a team like Ghost, then they have that in them where they say, hey, we know we can beat them. We can beat these caliber teams. So when they end up not winning the match overall and, say, losing the next 2 matches, for example, if that happened, then you would end up wondering, you know, we do have the formula that we do need to beat teams like this, but what are those remaining keys that we're missing? You know, is it really a one person that we have to focus on, or is it a team effort? And in a lot of these moments, I think it's going to be everybody that has to pull their weight.
That was a huge battle right there. Is Boomshot still there? Boomshot in the hands of Blast right now. He has an opportunity to take over the rest of this round and possibly close it out. He just needs that good the teamwork. He needs the call out from his team. You see Ribs right there. Ice Statue, Blast trying to sneak up. Is he going to waste the Boomshot? Especially not that close. Great play. Heads up play. Normally we see teams, you know, kind of kill themselves. And this could be another kill on Identiv. What is Identiv going to be able to do? And he does a great play. Identiv should have died right there. No problem. But Blast killing himself and Identiv, but God plays luckily able to pick up that next boom shot. So this round is actually close, especially since drop shot is also in the hands of Active. They have 3 drop shots, 1 boom shot. I don't expect them to lose this round.
Yeah, when they actually got possession of the boom shot, they had every member alive on their team, which gave them a great opportunity to rotate, get in position, get ready with that power weapon anywhere they needed to go. And right there you saw, he knew he had his teammates right nearby, desperation move, knew he was going to get the kill, they were going to pick it up and get the remaining shot.
Isn't that over there? If you take a look at the overhead map, Ghost Gaming, they're set up for the next boom shot. Okay, they're setting themselves up for the next power play, and you gotta keep an eye on that. You gotta push them out of that, because if Ghost Gaming can actually stall it long enough to pick up the next boom shot, it might be looking slow for Spire.
Yeah, and you have them setting up, like you said, waiting for that boom shot. Once they grabbed it, they rotated towards the top side of the map. So they really are going to have positioning really well. You can see going for that long drop shot, Active somehow just barely missing that, just carrying him out of that position. But knowing that he has the angle and the top side of the map, ready to dominate anybody that's going to pop out right now.
In my life did I think about using that play, but you see 4 dead. Ribs trying to do what he can. Ribs is going to be the one to need to get the touch. If Ribs dies without getting a touch, they will lose. But luckily he does get that touch. Taken out right after, so it's going to be a brawl right here, and it does look like Ghost Gaming is going to be able to hang on just a little bit longer. And Blast taking out Speedy, and he drops 41 kills right now, and they're starting with a triple cap against Sleepy Time. Take it out. Rushy's the last member alive. He does get the touch, but is he going to be able to stay alive? No, he is not. 5 dead for Ghost Gaming. 7-4 Aspire. Take map number 1.
42 kills, 16 down. Who is this guy? Blast going absolutely off. Map 1, 7-4 Aspire. Did anybody ever expect this?
Absolutely not. I'm speechless from watching how this game turned out, and I'm really happy to see Aspire. You know, like we were talking about God Plays at being as insane as he is on the sticks, his team clearly picked up the rest of the weight. You know, there was really nobody that, you know, really hung back a little bit. Everybody did what needed to be done there. They executed perfectly, and they really swept the floor with them right there.
You know what this is reminding me of? The 88 Chambers from Dallas.
Oh.
They got top 6, beating E United, beating so many teams nobody expected them to beat along the way. And this is looking like it's going to be, I know it's just pool play, so, you know, let's not jump the horse.
No. Don't head out the way, okay? They won. That's what matters. They won map 1. You make a statement, pool player or not, as long as you win the games like this, it means everything to you.
No, and to be honest, you know, I think Ghost Gaming gave them these fights that they shouldn't have. Like, Aspire is going to be a team that's going to come out and want to fight. They have such raw power on their team that they can win these gunfights. You need to outsmart a team like this. They're not afraid to fight Ghost Gaming. Ghost Gaming incredibly skilled, but these guys aren't afraid. God Plays leading this team said, yo, fight, force it, let's go. Ghost Gaming needs to do a better job of just playing to their skills and their strengths, because they're a really smart team and they've been playing together longer.
But I'm pretty upset, as PR and I spoke about earlier, Ghost Gaming, I mean, they're also built on individual talent. But when you look at what happened first map, Ribs was out of place, something you don't see from Ribs often. You saw missed boom shots from players like Rushies. Those are opportunities that you have to capitalize on. You have to play together as a team and capitalize situations when you have power weapons in play. So if you're Ghost Gaming, what are you doing map 2 to actually bring this back?
Honestly, you just need to forget map 1 ever happened. You know, I always tell people you need to win 2 maps regardless, right? You know, back in the day it was 3, but you need to win 2 maps regardless. Okay, they won map number 1, but okay, you still need to win 2 maps, so just close out these next 2 maps and then you close out the game. But on the flip side, you know, Aspire, they're impressive right now. They're impressing me.
Yeah, so if you're Blast, God Plays, Rep Solid, anybody on that team, what are you telling yourself to keep a cool head and win the second map?
Well, whatever they were doing in the opening part of that map, they're going to have to just continue that a little bit more. I think with the momentum that they built up, clearly Ghost Gaming was not able to overcome there. They made the smart play, though. Once they knew that they gave a couple rounds up for Ghost, they got him back into the game a little bit. But with those rounds, as it went on later, those respawns increased, and it gave them the opportunity they needed to secure the boom shot, get good positioning, finish off that round.
They made a statement. I mean, the rounds that they won, they were dominating them. They were outslaying them. It was... I'm sold. I'm sold on this Aspire roster. But if you're Ghost Gaming, I mean, people said Mexico was a fluke. But in Mexico, they played their best team play ever. What do they have to do to bring that back? And who are you looking forward to bring that out of them?
Honestly, they just need to like I said, forget everything that happened in map number 1. Make sure that you reset your mindset. But at the same time, you know, I'm looking for Speedy and Sleepy Time and even Ribs to step up at, you know, the leaders in the game,
from Ribs,
the voices in the game, and just realize that, you know, okay, we lost that map number 1. There's not much we can do about that now.
Right.
You know, stop harping on it and just move on, forward.
Yeah, and there was a lot of mistakes that were made, clearly that were a little out of their element, that they seemed something that we're not used to seeing a lot from Ghost Gaming, but that's something that you're not going to see, I think, in this next map. Their coach is going to be able to get them, I think, all together and be able to fix a lot of these mistakes where they maybe waste some of these power weapon shots a little bit early, kind of take it back a little bit. Now that we're resetting back to 0-0 on this next map, they're going to know that they can just play this game a little bit slower now.
So anything is possible. Aspire, they did win the first map. What are your predictions heading into map 2 and the rest of the series?
And Foundation can go either way, right? You know, we know that's everybody's sort of War Machine-like map that everybody plays on.
Individual
So,
play actually
you know,
means something on that map, though, which is scary
It's
if you're,
true.
you know.
It's true. You know, depending on the rest of this cycle, you know, Ghost really has to come back. But I could see Aspire shutting it down. I really can.
Really?
Yeah, I could see it happening.
The upset alert. What about you, Trooper?
I think Ghost is going to bounce back, win this next map, but you know, the third map I'm going to give to Aspire, the leg up.
Really?
It's going to be a close third map, but I'm feeling them right now. They did do enough to impress me, and I think that as long as they can play this game exactly the way that they started, just keep that energy going, they'll be fine.
So we're all calling for an
Gonna get
upset
things
right
ready.
now. So let's say if the upset does happen, let's talk, you know, hypotheticals. Do you see them taking the pool?
Who else is in their pool? It's Fable
Yes.
and Task Force.
Task Force, GG.
So if you beat the #1 team in the pool, or you know,
you're
in theory,
sitting
the
pretty
#1
comfortable.
team, you'd be comfortable. But you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves because I've seen Ghost Gaming come back 2-0 before. But I think
Right.
it's going to come down to the first half in map number 2.
Okay. So when you look at the play style of Aspire, how do you think that they'll match up against a team like Fable? It's pretty similar. It's scary. It's scary because they have the same play style. They like to force fights with their opponents. Do you think that they have a good matchup against them?
I think that it's very similar to how Ghost Gaming plays. You know, it's going to be kind of the same matchup. Like, you know,
Okay.
so if you're taking it to the wall against Ghost Gaming, then you have an opportunity to take it against Fable. Then you got to think, hey, I beat Ghost Gaming map #1, you know, so you can bring that into the next match, you know, going on and going forward, that you just can't doubt yourself going forward.
Yes.
And I think that's something God Plays brings to the team.
And speaking of God Plays, his first event here in Season 2, what are you expecting to see from him and his leadership in the second map?
Well, you know, I think just for anybody being, you know, in a place like Vegas, you know, it's a city of distractions. That's why everybody has to be here, stay in the zone. And somebody like God Plays, you know, with his team, the way that he's playing clearly in this game, you know that he's ready and he is in the zone, clearly ready to go into this next game. And it's going to be exactly what his team needs. They need somebody to step up and be that player that's going to be able to lead the shots, but also somebody as him who's just slaying. It's really going to bring it all together.
Yeah, like I said, Season 1, God Plays had a lot of experience. He really grew as a player, and you know, he was kind of held back in a way that he wanted to be a leader on the teams that he was on. He wanted to do those, but he sort of had to go through the ropes and establish himself, build up his skills. But he learned and he soaked in a lot of tips from all these pros. Now he can sort of lead a team, and I think that's going to be a scary thing in Season 2.
Yeah, so map 2, Ghost Gaming against Aspire on Foundation. They're in the bowl right now. First kill gets taken by Denims. He takes out Flash. Resh gets taken out by Blaz. This bullfight is going to be extremely important. How important is it to win that middle hill and control the rest of the map?
I mean, it's not only power position, it's, you know, you get the early kills, and depending on how it goes out, if you wipe 4 of them, 3 of them off the initial, you can put pressure and continue moving forward and get the home hill guy next, and then just use numbers to keep getting numbers. So, you know, if you win that bullfight 9 times out of 10, you get a huge lead early on.
And you can tell a lot of the teams that are playing on this map how confident they are in that fight, because if they lose, say, the opening round, a lot of teams I do notice a favorite strategy might be putting a block at the hill, because if they do happen to lose possession of that hill, you only lost positioning of the map for a short while. You didn't also lose something as important as a power weapon that's going to control farther points of the map and maybe push you back into your spawn.
The first push coming out from Aspire is their first attempt at a retake. It's going to be Rushy's getting 2 kills, denying any sort of offense from Aspire. So like I said, you know, once you get that top control 9 times out of 10, that lead's going to grow. You got all the position on the map, opportunities to push forward and use numbers to get numbers, and that's exactly what we're seeing here in round number 1.
Yeah, and as you can see with Sleep, just going back and forth, holding that B position. He's only needs to be the only person up there right now, as members of Ghost now are just kind of watching his back, knowing that there's going to be a couple members at least going up to that top side. Now 1 looks like making up that push with 2 right behind him. Sleepy's trying to put in that fire with some cross coming in on the low side of the bowl, and that was Speedy waiting at the top of the stairs to take out Blast in that shot. Taking him out, just 1 blast and back it up to the top, waiting for the secondary push. It looks like 2 more members now are coming up from Aspires, and they're able to clean up those kills, leaving just Sleepy in the bowl, who gets taken out as well by the pushing members of Aspire. Godplay's coming in and picking up multiple kills to secure B Hill, and now with only Ribs in here, running through Flash and almost getting the double kill, but wasn't able to wrap up that fight. You can see Godplay's now holding it down at B, with only a few moments away from Aspire to run away with this in a trip cap.
You know, I'm scratching my head about what just happened? You have full control. You have the point lead. You win off of 1 even. You don't need to dive for the neutral, and 4 members, 5 if you count Ribs there late and trying to make a play. All 5 of them died. So now you have to fight back. Aspire's in the game. They have an opportunity to take the lead here in roughly 20 seconds. So now it's Ghost's chance to make the move, and you fail this move, you lose the round.
This is a mental breakdown. Ghosts are going back to the season 1 play style. They're not trusting each other. They're not playing as a team. They're not holding a setup. If you're holding a setup on a map like that, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Okay, I was taken up by God plays. But if you're Ghost gaming, when you have map control like that, you can't give it up. You have to play as a team.
Actually, they made a split push right there. They pushed B and they pushed A at the same time. They won their A fight and then eventually won the B fight right after. So good job by Ghost Gaming to come back into them.
They need it.
But you can't let those mistakes happen. Those are the crucial mistakes that make or break teams, especially when you're a top-tier team like Ghost.
This is the time where you have to tighten that up. You have to tighten that up because you can't let any more rounds slip away to Aspire, because we've seen how Aspire can take advantages and just completely go off with it. So if you're Ghost Gaming, take notes. Take notes. Okay, see why your your setup was broken down like that. Figure out why and talk to each other about how you can hold that stronger. You have to win your single fights as well, okay? We saw from Ribs and Rushies, you have to continue doing that. Now, I want to see Ghost Gaming kind of evolve in this matchup. I want them to pick up on their mistakes and go back to their Mexico playstyle.
They have such a strong coach in Fatal Strike, I think, that's really driving the team into that exact form that they need to be. If you look at preparation in the definition, Fatal Strike's there. He's got so much on lock for this team, and he's added a lot of keys, I think, bringing a lot to the table, and it's setting up what they need to get done with this aggressive part of the map coming up. Like, when you ended up getting so close at the Spire and not being able to overcome, you know that right now, you do have backup plans involved, and you're going to have to push them into the action right now.
But I mean, ultimately, Fatal, he's not holding it. Okay, there's only so much he can do for his team. He can keep them together. He can make call-outs and tell them, hey, cross for each other. But at the end of the day, it's down to the players that actually play like they know how to work as a team. That's what it really comes down to, okay?
Yep. Absolutely. You have when you have the formula coming together, like when things collapse, you need everyone to just hold their ground. It's really as simple as that. You need everyone to not get egoed out and really just make a desperate move. You don't want somebody to just put the game on their back when it really doesn't need to be done, because if you do push a fight that doesn't need to be pushed and get taken out, right away the whole round starts collapsing, and then you start to second guess yourself in future rounds.
One thing I've always said, nothing's scarier than a team with nothing to lose and everything to prove. So actually before this game, I went up to these guys. They're on main stage, as you can see on the screen. And I told them, the guys are on main stage. How do you feel about it? Man, they were smiling, they were happy, dapping me up. But, that type of confidence boost. These guys, they feel like they're on top of the world right now. They've never been in this position before, except that. Rep solid with the double kill. I like seeing this from players like that. Make a name for yourself.
Hey, he's been around for a while, so it's finally good to see, like I said before, once you just get that ego out of the way and you start playing with those players that everyone claims need a chance, and you just form a team, you just be selfless, things like this can happen. And Repsolid's been at it for a while, so it's finally paying off for him. So anybody out there looking to make a team, just play with who you want to play with. Learn and adapt together, because you can be the best player in the game, but no matter what team you're on, you always want to bring your teammates up, and you always want to make sure your teammates are at the top of their game.
And you can see that push coming in strong now by Ghost Gaming. Multiple members dropping of Aspire, leaving Repsolid to now back up, and he couldn't get around that cover. Ghost Gaming was hot on his tails, knowing that he was the only man remaining in that fight, and they didn't want him to get away, as they had to rotate to that side of the map anyway to try and push into the C hill. So they cleaned up that kill, and now pushing all the way through is Speedies to try and finish off this round with the trip cap. Now members are all respawning of Aspire, and this fight is about to get nasty right here. Coming out of spawn in the tight go-away here, Rushy's taking 2 men out. Speedy getting dropped in the process, and it looks like Aspire somehow takes control back of C when they were only seconds away from losing that round.
And if you look at the score, it's going to be up to Ghost Gaming here to make all the pushes and push forward and eventually decap or triple cap the other team's home hill. And after roughly 25, 30 seconds, because if you take too long, it's going to be too late, and then somebody can sneak by, maybe sneak your home hill, maybe sneak B. So you need to make sure not only do you play this aggressive, you wipe them off the map and make sure nobody's hiding.
Oh, somebody snuck into the C hill, actually, and there's only a couple seconds now. Aspire is not watching their home hill. They only need to hold that down right now, and they can win based on points. But now Ghost creeping in there and almost snuck in there for another trip cap. But you can see now, if they hold that position, they're going to be able to wrap up this round.
Yeah, I'm going to harp on it again right there. Just judging off what I saw, I know we weren't on that home hill. That those rushies going in by himself trying to make a hero play. You had roughly 20, 25 seconds. You could attempt to make some sort of a team play, but as soon as rushies died, that puts the back up against the wall. People are able to sneak by, they get B, and just things like this tend to happen. So if you're Ghost Gaming, you need to make sure that everyone's on the same page, making the same moves together.
Aspire ties it at 1-1 right now. We're going to go back to the main stage game. Take it away.
Yep.
And right now, as we pick up here, you can see Fran getting taken out. As we jump right into the gameplay, that was Jim Bob, that man Slayer, for Mind Freak, taking him out. So a great start here as we jump into the gameplay to see what Jim Bob's doing now. As he's in that lift control room here, down, trying to get a lot more of this crossfire to force the team members of Echo Fox up into that top rock area, closing them off out of the rest of the fights. Jim Bob, though, getting shot from behind from a member of Echo Fox. That Solar's now moving in, looking like he was going to try and run and head down, but now he has to take this fight a little bit less aggressive here. Let's see who's going to make the push. He actually has to turn around. It looks like he got caught off guard there. That's a 2-on-1. They sandwiched him, were able to isolate him from his teammates, and they got that fight, and it looks like almost ready to get a trip cap there, which would have been very helpful here. They need to get on the board desperately, as Echo Fox is about to sweep them off this map.
Yeah, first round's always the hardest, but when you're down 6-0, you got to wonder what's doing to your mentality. You see Echo Fox, trying to double cap. They're going to play across for double homes right now. The two members of Mind Freak are looking to set up and try and stop that. Maybe not let him cap. This Toy Soldier receiving his first down, and we all know Gears of War, once you get that third down, it's not even a down, you're just dead. So good pre-damage going out, but he's sneaking around towards B Street. Mercer's actually going to go down, maybe caught out of position right there. So huge plays by Echo Fox to make it happen, and Kyle's actually going for the break as well, and he's going to back out, try and stay alive. He did what he needed to do, and now you kind of wait, let the team play go up. A little bit of bait and switch coming out as you see Solar is pushing up full red. Jim Bob going down. Luckily, Mercer was able to spawn up. These are 10-second respawns since it is a new half. But it looks like Echo Fox is putting all the pressure on. They have that 2-hill set up, and they're slowly trying to climb back into this game. But I expect them eventually to move for E, since it is those short respawns.
And with these 10-second respawns, I'm actually surprised to see this positioning right now. Mind Freak is backed all the way up into their spawn, and they are not able to get enough of a push out to gain any more ground. So you can see both those home hills well under control now of Echo Fox, and they're looking like they're just trying to keep them all the way back instead of having members rotate of Mind Freak to that other side, maybe to that middle hill where they don't need anybody. They know they have to send all their numbers right here to these D and F hills. So now you can see Jim Bob up on those top sections of these rocks to get a nice cross with the pistol here, and there's multiple members of Mind Freak as well to try and run in there, but actually they get taken out by pretty much every one of Echo Fox that were right in position because they are trying to close out this map as soon as possible.
Jim Bob, huge plays right there, but they do have the lead still, but they need to continue on it and continue to rack up points. But Echo Fox, luckily for Mind Freak, Echo Fox is fully decapped, so they do have an opportunity here to win off of one, but they need to make sure they play for E. I don't know why they're still flooding their own home hill, because eventually E will be broken, and then it's going to be all over for Mind Freak. Exactly just that. E is being broken, and now no one's playing for it.
Why was only one member of Mind Freak holding that hill?
Home? That's what I don't know. And now Echo Fox is caught and catching up. They're about to gain the lead right here, and it does look like Echo Fox is going to be in position to close out this map and take the series.
And just like that, Echo Fox really showing up for this game. I mean, just showing exactly why they're leading their pool, and that's exactly why they're coming in here and trying to make a statement to regain their spot in the grand finals where they know they belong.
Yep, but on the side of Mind Freak, a team that doesn't normally get practice against these NA teams. This could be a learning experience, although, it was a little bit of a beatdown in a 7-0. But, you got to gain something out of that. It's only a true loss, especially since it's full play, if you didn't learn a single thing.
Yeah, as we saw earlier from Aspire going against Ghost Gaming, these teams do have the potential to take a map and multiple rounds off of teams such as Echo Fox and Ghost Gaming. But if you're Mind Freak, you're going to let your confidence go down from this, or are you going to learn and pick back up from this?
I don't think that you let your confidence drop whatsoever. Obviously, losing isn't going to be easy for anybody, but when you're facing Echo Fox, essentially one of the top 3 teams in the entire game, you're going to need to, as you said, use this as a learning experience. You got beat on a little bit, but there's always something positive that you can take out of that. Whether there's something that you know specifically went wrong that you can fix, it's a lot that they have to work on going into the later part of this tournament.
Yes, and looking at Echo Fox, I mean, on paper, they were supposed to win in that fashion. I mean, what more can we say when it comes to them placing top 2 again against the likes of Ghost Gaming and Optic?
Yeah, I mean, it's all business for Echo Fox, and we really just want to see them continue this, dominant performance against the juggernauts in Optic and Ghost, the teams that have been giving them a little bit of trouble this season. And, Echo Fox does have the pieces to win a championship as well. They're just such an amazing team, an amazing skill on this squad. So I really, really want to see them being confident and smart and really put on a show for us here in Vegas.
Well, speaking of a show, we have some great matches so far from our UGC Las Vegas Open. I want to go back to this Ghost Gaming and Aspire game right now. Ghost Gaming, they're actually up 2-1 on Foundation PR. What more can we say about this roster?
They're resilient at times. Obviously, they're hot, they're cold. But one thing I know about this Ghost Gaming team is they do have the potential to climb back into almost any game. 2-1 right here. They're almost climbing back into Foundation.
It's too early to tell.
Exactly.
If you're playing Aspire, you're playing to win right now, but you also don't have to do as much, if that makes sense. You have that already, that 1 map lead over Ghost. Let them make those plays that they need to make, because you're in such a good position. You're in the driver's seat for the rest of this game. I think they're in a great position to dictate the rest of the momentum for this, if they can stay in the zone.
I want to talk about what we just saw on the stairs right there.
Break it down.
I think it was Rushy's holding the top, or it was Speedy, but the Wolfpack in Gears of War 4, man. I just saw 4 people, 4 Locusts, 4 Swarm members coming out from Aspire and just swarming those steps. And that is how that team is going to beat you. They are going to push together, and if you give it to them, if you let them have that sort of number advantage, you're going to let them steal some rounds. You got to run from this.
So you know what I see from a lot of AM teams and pro teams when they're trying to break setups? They run in 1 by 1. They try to get 1 kill at a time. Is that essentially the best way to go for it? Or should they capitalize on this Wolfpack mentality?
Gears of War is such a numbers game, and in Gears of War 4, the fact that you can have teammates, you have 5 people, and you can really work together. Of course, there's going to be those chances that you got to fight that 1v1 and try and for the bread and take the hill, or force a decap or something like that. But as we talk about the shotgun and pistol players and how to be an all-around player in Gears 4, I think in this game the roles start to diminish a little bit. Yeah, you have a role coming out of spawn, right? You got your support player off the bat. You got your man that wants to up A everything and get into the smoke fest. But everybody needs to pull out their pistol and shoot for each other. If you can land, if you can brick somebody with an Asher, but you have that one player that's dumping a full clip of pistol ammo, you're going to get that down, and that's going to make the difference of a teammate that has a team that has 2 Nashers. If you have a 2v2 and a man has a pistol and an Asher, to me that team's going to win out.
That's ideal.
2v2 Nashers. Of course, you got to switch over, but that's something that you could do in the Wolfpack, and sort of that 4th man or that back man, have the support weapon out and then flip to it. Flip to the Nashers.
Yeah, that's something I've always said, even dating back to Gears 2, Gears 3. If you could start a fight, and I use percentages now because that's what we use now, but if you could start a fight 100% to 80% every single time,
exactly.
You land that first brick, that's a down, that's a chunk, that's just something a little bit easier, and that's something that a lot of teams don't necessarily think of it that way.
Right.
But, if you break it down like that, if I'm consistently, with an active, a good shot is typically 80%.
Exactly, yeah.
And so, 80% is a down if you have 20% damage from your team crossing them.
Everybody wants to see the blood and guts everywhere, right? Everybody wants to get that satisfying match. But you got to play for each other. You really got to work together, and the numbers don't lie, man. If you have that support fire coming out in a shotgun fight, you're likely going to win that.
One thing that a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of teams don't, execute well. So if we look at this right now, the B hill, the bowl, I mean, it's pretty hard to capture. If you're having trouble taking that over, what about the double hill setup, double home hill setup? Like, what about strats like that? Is that vital in games like this when you're having trouble breaking hills?
I think you need to have a home strat in your playbook. I think it's critical that even
knowing when to adapt,
when to throw it in. And a lot of times, you know, when I was competing on the circuit, we would sort of already identify the rounds that we were going to throw a trick strat in, just so everybody was on the same page, so the comms were clean during that, like, round 3. Say, hey, round 2 and round 5, we're going to play for homes. And what we're going to do on those rounds is have a dedicated strat where we're pushing for their homes. We can throw smoke screens and pretend like we're doing the base. But even if that, you know, you can play for homes and then completely move your team to the neutral hill. And that's a lot of the things about home. Yeah, you play for homes initially, you draw their resources back home to defend it, then you leave and you go play for the normal A and B setup. And you know, you can do that a lot. Most of these maps, you can literally work that into your base strat.
You're such a nerd.
Absolute nerd out here.
I remember back at Gears of War 3, I remember standing behind the Raw Talent Huddle. You had your iPad out, drawing up all the strats. Exactly what he said. Round 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 rounds, you already had them planned out.
Immortal Spawn did that before the first ever Gears did. I'll never forget. I went to my first LAN ever. We was running like a subway to start this. My first time in like New York. And Immortal Spawn had this bind, this elaborate bind of every map in the squad they were supposed to do. And that's the mentality you have to have if you want to take it to the next level. It's easy to get on the game and say, okay, we go here, and we do our own job. But when you have a purpose to every position that you're in on the map, that really elevates you as a player. And that's why pros are pros. And, you know, amps have a hard time getting up there because they don't see what it takes to actually really think and break down the game when it comes to that. It's more than just getting kills. It's all about rotation, strats, and numbers.
And when it comes down to watching a lot of your game film from scrims and from actually competing, you need to also take notice of a lot of the positionings for the top section of the map. It's actually very helpful if you're scrimming a game and you have somebody that's spectating for your team that might also be capturing what's going on just the overhead map. So that way you can always see your opponents and usually just dictate what their habits are rather than watching individual play styles. You can see the entire picture being painted right in front of you.
And more times than not, you see players take the same routes time and time again. Even if it's individual to that certain player taking a certain route, you're going to see the pattern. You're going to see stuff. So like whether you hope, like you said, overhead map, maybe a ghost cam view, something like that to capture, you know, these patterns and things like that. That could be a big help for teams because like you'll know at these 180 rounds where you got to make those quick moves. Oh, okay, I know where they're going to be. I know where they're going to come from.
There's one thing I want to point out. So Aspire just lost that round against Ghost is winning out. When Aspire lost, the first person to get up and talk trash was Blast. So if you're losing, you're getting up, and you're still hyped, and you're still in the game, that says a lot to you as a player. You didn't give up.
Huge, man.
You didn't give up. You didn't blame your teammate for the round. You're not sad about the round. You still believe you're better than these guys. You can't be scared of them. You can't. That's why I love Gears of War, man. The hype in the game of Immortal Spawn, I mean, it's second to none.
Not to interrupt you, but Godplays almost just killed himself standing in an instant. Then he comes back, gets the kill on Identity that makes Speedy kill himself. Oh my God, Godplays making a God play.
That was cute.
Saving that one.
Saving that one for 2 events.
And he actually doubles back into the barn, and he picked up that remaining boom shot, firing it into the home hill to try and get the kill, but he actually threw it into the smoke now with the nade as well. He's not picking up any kills, but at least spreading members of Ghost out a little bit.
I want to know what the boom hit percentage is at this tournament alone, on stream. What is the percentage of kills versus booms fired?
I could tell you in this matchup right here, it's like 5.6% of boom shots hit.
I've probably seen 2 boom shot kills in about 20 misses. They need to stop dropping that on the map.
Where's the drop shot at? This is like my favorite weapon.
You know, seeing so many of these teams picking up the boom shot and then shooting that first shot right away, a lot of teams actually try to do something a little bit differently. Winning that first fight and getting the boom shot, you'll see a lot of teams back up instead and wait for the second wave of your opponents to come in to actually utilize it to keep them further out of the game.
Yeah, because when you have the boom shot, other team fears you. When you get the boom shot, you're actually able to recollect as a team, regroup, and make a particular push because you're able to now because you have the best weapon in the game. And I feel like a lot of top teams capitalize on it, and a lot of other teams, they still need to learn to do that because once you grab it, it's kind of like another strat you can do on top of that.
You almost
It's a
have
game
like this
changer.
area around you where you are controlling that whole region. And if you position that boom player in certain areas of the map, you're gaining map control. So it's not that you just want to grab it and grab 2 kills like, hey, I got 2 kills with the boom, I did my job. No, that's a positioning weapon. You really want to use that. And remember, as soon as you pick it up, you know, you got the boom timer clicking. If you're able to control that boom and set up for the next boom with it as well, like it's such a utility weapon in addition to, you know, its raw power.
If you're able to actually have control of a boom shot on a map, like Reclaim, for example, you know, like you said, you have such an area that you're controlling of the map. If you have the top side, if you have a higher level than your opponent and you're holding that boom shot, there's a lot of people that forget you can hit angles, you know, above people's heads where they're in cover, and the splash damage will still take them out. So even when you think you're safe, you're really not sometimes.
There we go, 2 kills straight up for Ghost Gaming. They're 4-2 right now against Aspire. I mean, this is good for them because now they know, okay, we have a lead against this team. We can kill some of the momentum. This is where Ghost Gaming really cannot afford to let go of the gas.
And we saw yesterday with Fable, you know, had a convincing lead on Ghost Gaming, and Ghost came back, you know, 4 or 5 rounds in a row, was able to seal the deal there. So they're definitely comfortable on Reclaimed. I know it wasn't a smooth day for them. I know it wasn't how they wanted to, you know, come out against Fable, but at the end of the day, they got the W. And today's Saturday, man, they got to focus up.
You actually made a point earlier that, you know, Foundation is essentially like, you know, the new war machine. It can go down pretty much to anybody, you know, that really wants to step up. And when you have a team, the way Aspire is playing, where they're rolling 4, sometimes all 5 together, a map like Foundation, that worked so well.
It does, exactly.
Now with a map like Reclaim, where it's more spread out and there's different levels that they have to worry about and how open it is, yeah, it might not be working as well as you can see here.
No, that's a great point, True, because it really, I think this matchup is based on the map picks.
Boom shot.
And this is, you know, to me, this is Aspire putting down the boom because they need to force the fight on a map like
want to see
Reclaim.
them
You got to
hit the
understand that, yeah, well, of course, but if they're going to beat Ghost Gaming on Reclaim, a team that has been practiced and seasoned on a strategic map like this, they need to get into shotgun fights and fight them. So it's a coin flip, you know, but that's what they have to do to take this match.
I mean, but putting a boom shot there, though, like, look at the score, 4-2 into the half, so you weren't necessarily winning that fight.
That's right.
So maybe throw it down low, maybe let another round play out for the second half fight. But, you know, as I say that, it does look like they're going to get control of
It's a lose that situation. It's a 1v2, 1v1 situation. Now Blast has to win his gunfight. He gets taken down by Speedy. Speedy, let him know.
Let him know.
Let him
Yo,
know.
so as far as the barn is concerned, yeah, it's like, you know, it's a bang-bang shoddy fight, but there's a lot of little things that go into that barn fight. And, you know, Ghost might have the edge on it.
I mean, that's where teams like Echo Fox accelerates that. I mean, you have to put your weapon down in an area where you know you're going to win the fight. You have to, because if you put it in an area where you've been losing, you know, round in and round out, it's not a good thing. Because you're basically giving the team that just beat you the boom shot.
This could be one of those maps where it fell in the rotation and Aspire's like, look, this is going to be tough. You know, we want to take him to tiebreaker. And this happens a lot, too, in the map picks and bans. They might not be as practiced on all these maps. If we can beat them on Foundation, we can beat them on our tiebreaker map. And you know, I'm interested to see what that map will be. See if Aspire can bounce back there, but
It's not looking pretty.
It's kind of what I said, you know, maybe Ghost Gaming was just kind of sleeping on this team. Maybe they weren't awake in map number 1, but gosh, it was a double kill right there. He's finally taken out by Rushes, but, you know, that typically happens, you know, like we saw it in Mexico, Echo Fox versus Ronin. We saw it in Dallas with teams, and it's just a trend here in Gears of War, you know, and maybe all of esports where if you're just a high-ranking team, you go against a team that no one really even respects or think will even get to where you are, you know, you typically lose that first map, but then map number 2, you're like, okay, now we got to try, now we got to play harder, and things like that tend to happen.
Aspire getting used to the spotlight. See coming up next, Task Force versus Aspire. They're going to be rolling into their next match here on the main stage. So we'll see you know, what type of momentum they can bring into that clash of Demo, Bounce, and Godplay's former teammates.
I mean, Aspire, they have a great chance to still get top 2 in this poll, even if they lose this game against Ghost Gaming. I feel like they have a great matchup against Fable. I mean, Fable brings different dynamic to the game, but their play style, they match up well. This Task Force squad, they're down 0-2 right now. Last time I checked them, they're fighting an uphill battle, and with what Aspire showing us right now, I mean, I'll be working. I'll be working.
I hear you. They're playing with confidence. And, you know, if it goes in their favor sometimes, they have nothing to lose. out there and play, see how far I can take it.
I'm honestly surprised this round is going as late as it is rather than being a trip cap, just because you mentioned earlier, Spire, they were losing by a couple of rounds, and they decide that they're going to put a boom shot down and give Ghost Gaming an opportunity to just further take further domination of this game. And as you can see, they never even touched it. They put it at the bowl where, like I was saying earlier, if you lose that fight, you're losing such a crucial part of the map. That power weapon, that positioning, you're essentially giving up the entire round.
If you guys want to learn how to up your power weapon game, watch Speedy. He is my favorite power weapon player, like breaking into Gears 4. He is so smart with these weapons, and like I mentioned, the utility factor of those weapons, he really does a great job of conserving like his ammo and using it in a really smart way.
PR, what we see from Blast right now, yelling at Speedy. Is that something you want to do?
No, and you never
Especially when
want to
you're
yell
losing
at a player like
2-6.
Speedy. Even kind of like Rushy's the same like that. All that's going to do is anger them. It's going to make them play smarter. It's gonna make them play to not only beat you but embarrass you.
For the combined 59 kills between Speedy and Reggie, I mean, you gotta have some type of respect for this dude.
Got it. They've been doing it ever since season 1 when Speedy got first picked up in Atlantic City. I remember watching them go up against Echo Fox for top 4, I believe it was. Rushy's was in their spawn. Echo Fox's spawn, putting players like Crushmo and Kyle on swords. So that's something we typically see him do, and it actually was unreclaimed as well. So Speedy as well, always getting people on swords. I was listening to their play against Demo King. He's like swords everywhere.
God plays getting positioning though and winning the fight to get that boom and back out of the B hill. And you can see there he is putting it actually on his back. Excuse me, now it's D, E, and F hill. You get actually putting it on his back, making sure that he didn't get surprised running around those tight corners. He didn't want to drop it, but now pulling it out and actually using it on Identips, who wins a fight, ready to use a second shot here and does get the double kill on Ribs as well, and able to get back into cover so the Ghost Gaming remaining members aren't able to down him with those support fire.
Yep, you see Boom Shot was picked up by God Plays roughly soon. I do believe instants are going to spawn up again. But the thing about where these weapons are placed, they take you away from the neutral hill position. So if you're going to go for any of these weapons, you need to make sure your team is set up to defend if they push randomly, or is set up to rotate if they start to push when they're man down because they're going for those weapons.
Yeah, and you have teams, playing each other, getting so amped up, and keeping that high energy. When you're winning, when you're losing, regardless, you need to make sure that you're staying in your opponent's head. You have to play 2 different games, in between rounds and while the game's actually going on. When you're actually practicing, when you're scrimming, when you're at home in your own house, yeah, when things go wrong, when you lose a round, you end up just talking it amongst your team. When you're here, when you're live at the event and you lose a round, your opponent stands up behind your TV and yells right in your face. If you can't drown that out, you're never going to get very far on the LAN tournaments.
Yep.
Stock it up.
Set up that way and really know exactly how you're going to be seated, and get the high fives out of the way, get the how we're going to do the fist bumps, and make sure you're comfortable with one another.
Right.
But the next thing to focus on at a live tournament is the trash talking between rounds and the composure and the technicalities. There's such a different experience, and you need to experience it live. You need to get out here and sort of get acclimated to that environment. It's the most passionate esports experience that you can have, and you can just see what's happening right now. I'm gonna hear it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it now. Okay, I've competed for a while. If you lose a map 2-7, you don't pop off. You sit down, humble yourself.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that is part of
it. Drives them.
It's a next level thing that they're doing right now. It's keeping the momentum, keeping the energy, because when you're winning rounds and when you're winning gunfights, your blood is flowing, right? Like, it's satisfying, you're hype, your team is doing really, really well.
Yes.
If you lose and you can keep that momentum and you can keep that energy, it's going to help you. It's the moment where you start to lose and you fall into the slumps and you're losing rounds, and that's where you're like, how do we bounce back from this? That is just a strategic way to stay hype and try and take it into the tiebreaker.
That's a good point, because if you have a lot of new teams that are coming and they're they don't have a good chemistry and they're not used to playing with each other, or they're not used to playing together in person, you might start off good and things might be going well, and then all of a sudden, once you start losing rounds, somebody might, instead of going, oh, there's a guy rotating over to A, I'm dead.
What's
That's his
interesting-
call out.
yeah,
Like, people just start getting quiet. You can't get into your own head. You have to stay ready in the moment and keep playing the game.
For like a resume in Gears of War, like trash talk is a legitimate requirement. You
Oh,
got to have
hands down.
somebody on the team that can get in your opponent's head because it's a momentum thing.
That's
and
how
it's
we won
part of it,
games
yeah.
back in the day.
That's- you win,
Yeah,
it wins you rounds sometimes.
We won
legitimately wins you
maps
rounds.
because of that.
Yeah.
When my teammates talking trash, that hypes me up. Even if I'm just sitting there quiet, you know what I mean? Even
Gotta
though,
have
you know,
somebody
I
around,
did
you
I
know.
did the trolley trash talk when I played, but I'm just sitting there quiet sometimes, letting somebody else trash talk. I'm just like, with a smile.
So with Ghost Gaming winning map 2, the maps are tied now at 1-1. We're going to go to the tiebreaker map. Do your predictions still stand?
I want to know what map it is, and that's really going to dictate it for me. If we see like a close quarter, let's talk about lift. Like I know both these teams will really like lift, but to me, you know, that can give Aspire a chance here, depending on how they play maintenance and that gunfight. If we play on Forge Blitz, for example, you know, that's Ghost.
I believe we're going to Forge Blitz.
All right.
Because when you look at Forge Blitz, the thing that's really going to matter is that you got to look for Speedy and Rushies up top of control room.
Yeah.
Because those guys, I mean, the best slaying duo in the game.
Man.
Exactly. I feel like that's their best area anywhere in any game because they play together. So you're going to have to see Aspire send 2 of their best slayers against 2 of the other best slayers in the game. And I feel like that's going to actually choose who's going to win that game.
Yeah, Forge Blitz is, you know, definitely a really interesting map in the way that it's broken down. And you have this top control room that you want to play for, and you know it gives vision on the map. You have the furnace button, but we've seen it time and time again. This is the 3rd event that you're going to see this duo, Rushy and Speedy, sort of dominate up there. It's so difficult. What I'd like to see out of Aspire is maybe send 3 people up there, design a strat where you can focus on the control room, put numbers in your advantage to eliminate those guys, and then focus on the rest of the round. That's something that you really need to do to, you know, weigh the scale in your favor to kick off the initials.
So PR on Aspire, who do you want to see step it up to actually make this game fall in their favor?
For Aspire, you got to keep going what's been working for them. God plays in Blast. That duo that's beginning to form.
Who would you send in control room against Speedy and Rushies?
God plays in Blast.
There we go.
The slaying duo. But at the same time, talking about like different strategies to counter that slaying duo up top of Rushies and Speedy, you know, typically you just throw boom middle.
Another body,
If
you know,
throw,
nades middle.
well, I
it's
mean,
a
if
lot
you
of
throw a
things.
boom middle, that's going to force
Right.
typically what we've seen from every team when a boom is middle, a 1v1 up top, 3v3 middle, and then a 1v1 towards that incinerator. It's how you do off the rotations, but I think that would be a legitimate strategy going into it.
I feel like a big strategy that they're going to have to capitalize on if Aspire is unable to win a control room against Speedy and Rushies. I would like to see them block the power weapon in that area. Because if you do that, you take something away from Ghost Gaming that a lot of teams don't do often. Because if Ghost Gaming actually gets a sniper or an M-bar up there, it's going to be over. So you're going to have to learn to capitalize on blocking that power weapon drop. And I feel like that will take it to the next level for Aspire. I look forward to God plays making adjustments like that in game.
Yeah, that's the beauty of escalation. You can really like dictate the fights and sort of control it that way with the different weapons. And being able to block up top, you're gonna bring the attention down low. They'll still fight for it, but you have to respect where the boom shot goes.
Yes. But looking at Ghost Gaming, I mean, we talk a lot about Speedy and Rushies, but Ribs plays extremely well on this map. What does he do so well for this team on Forge Blitz?
He just knows how to facilitate that other side of the map. He knows how to call for help when needed from, it's typically Identims or Sleepy Time playing that middle that are going to rotate over. And he just does a good job of wasting time. If his team loses that fight, he knows how to get across to the other team's home hill, draw that round out just a little bit longer. And that's something I expect from Ribs. But at the same time, I've seen him put up numbers on that side of the map against some of your top tier talent.
The map has been over for about 5 to 10 minutes now, and they're still talking trash, waiting to get into the next game. This is going to be a fire tiebreaker map. I'm really excited. I feel like this is going to set the tone for the rest of the event. If Ghost Gaming is unable to pull this out, I feel like this can affect them in the long run. And also, we might see Aspire make a huge run in the winner's bracket. I mean, we've seen it time in and time out. Fable, you know, their story in Mexico. You don't want to allow a team to catch fire in pool play and carry it over to the championship bracket.
Yeah, if Aspire takes this, we'll likely see them in the winner's champ bracket. But, you know, we're highlighting Rushies and Speedies a lot. And the rest of the team with Sleepy, Identims, and Ribs, you know, rushing speed they allow them to go into these positions to succeed and win these gunfights and work together. But it's the little things on a map like Forge Blitz that these guys are supporting. They're filling in the gaps. They're running to the opponent's home to sort of pull back their resources. And there's a lot of little things that go on here. And it's going to be amazing to watch.
Yes, and while we're waiting for this tiebreaker map to load up, let's take a look at Rose Best going against the Gosu crew. Rose Best up 1-0 in maps, 3-2 in rounds. What are your thoughts on teams like Rose Best and the Gosu crew, an open bracket team that made pool play?
Well, I think a team like Gosu Crew, with the way that the roster is stacked up now, they have so many good individual gunfight players that they really have a lot of different opportunities that they can go with any of their strategies. They can really mix it up with the way that this team has been compiled. I think these fights that they're going to be a little bit more important in maps where they're a lot less open and they have a lot more of these tighter advantages against their other teams if they know how to stick together and work as a team.
This is going to be a true test for Rose Best, because when you look at the Gosu crew, the makeup of their roster, they have a lot of support players. They don't have that standout Slayer. Okay, so when you think about that, the importance of like them winning is that they use team fire strategy. If you're Rose Best, they lack all that. Individually, they're guys. They're amazing. But Rose Best, this is actually going to make them better in this matchup because they have to learn to play as a team. Friday, we saw them struggle a little bit, but I feel like this is going to help them gain momentum and playing as a complete roster.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, when you go into Friday, do you have your base strategies? As a team, everybody most likely is different. Do you set your strategies for the weekend? This is what we're going to do in the base of our games. We have an A strat, we have an E strat. If all fails, we have C. But you might have teams that say, hey, you know, there's a lot of eyes on us right now. We're playing on main stage. Maybe on our next couple games, we don't bring the same exact thing to the table, and we try to mix things up and throw our future opponents off.
So one thing I want to say about this Gosu Crew team is, as a lot of people don't know, they were formerly world best at Las Vegas. This is almost the exact same roster, but instead of Kraz, it was Witchy, and they got top 6.
Yes, Rose Best, they're now at 4-2, but let's go ahead and take a look at this tiebreaker game with Ghost Gaming against Aspire right now. It is 0-0, guys. This is going to be a very intense match. As we're looking, Rushy's still alive. I'm unsure what happened to Control Tire.
Well, it looks like Speedy established positioning up there, so I think they won the initial.
Okay.
Off the top.
A little risky play right there. Usually you want to see the crossfire coming down, but I do kind of like the way it turned out for him right now. Maybe Speedy can, not trade with the other player. You know, it's kind of hard to control, but Rushy is actually playing it well. He's not going in for a showing now. Puts for red back to him, and he actually gets the down on blast. And he's making a smart play right now, or I thought he was going to make the smart play to retreat and just let the guy live, but he got a little thirsty for that one.
God Plays Rushy's ex-teammate, letting him know how it's done. I like to see this, okay? God Plays is making a statement right now, okay? He can come in here with any team and make noise. It's extremely important.
That's true.
You have a map, actually, though, with when Ghost is playing Aspire right now on Forge Blitz. I think, actually, between these two teams, the preparation is going to be the most key aspect of this game, because this map has so many little things, as you said, that you have to worry about. One of them included is when you have a hill inside the incinerator, keep tabs on the timer of that button, just like you would a power weapon. You have to expect and know exactly when that's about to come up and be ready for that. Because if you're able to cap that mid-hill when it's incinerator, hit the button, you're keeping your opponents out for an additional 5 to 7 seconds, and they're not going to be able to make that push, especially if you're getting close to a trip guy.
I know for a fact Fatal Strike times the Forge Blitz turns, but 100%.
I think it's around a 50-second timer. I think it burns for like 20 to 30 seconds, and then the rest of the time is for the button to come up.
Oh, that's a real nerd fast.
That's real nerdy.
I love it here.
But, this going on. Ghost Gaming
See, this is what I like to see from Ghost Gaming, okay? This is what we spoke about, Trooper, okay? You got to get the high percentage
Dancing with the stars right there.
But you have to get the high percentage kill. You have to go wide with your Lancer, wide with your pistol. Of course, it's not the prettiest play at the moment, but it puts you in a position to get the kill without dying.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're right on those positioning that, as we saw on that last fight even, a lot of them are going wide on these fights, keeping them back up into their spawn, not letting them get into that aggressive position. You can see, though, now Ghost making everything work on that round, and now taking this first round. It's not looking good for Aspire just right away. I'm not saying they're out of it, obviously, but you needed to win, I think, this first round going into this third map after having such a big start. They don't want to have a similar collapse that will Fable had against Ghost yesterday. Ghost, you
Don't
know,
do it. Don't do it. Don't
Ghost is
do
going
it.
to be known as the clutch up team this whole event if they're going to be able to win this map, no problem.
Well, as Blaze points out a lot, you know, losing this first round isn't the worst because you get to dictate the rest of the half. And, you know, this is Aspire's opportunity to dictate the rest of the half. And they're going to be blocking those. So that could have potentially been a Bolt Hawk for Identivs or some support weapon like that, which is pretty big. This is an open map.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
I mean, a Botok versus an M-Bar sniper. I mean, it's kind
I
of
got
scary
you.
now.
But again, Aspire wanting to force the fights, confident in their shotguns. If they can eliminate a support weapon that can, you know, deduce exactly what they're doing in those shotgun fights, it does play big. Now, to me, that shows them that they're confident in this up top fight, and that's what we're going to see.
There we go. Godplays takes out Rush. He's 2v1 against Speedy. They have to kill him fast and go ahead and take advantage of the map. Sleepy gets a double kill on Actives and Flash. That's what I like to see, one of the most consistent players on Ghost Gaming.
One of the most consistent players in the game, you know what I'm saying? As he's consistently dropping, you know, 25, 30, you know, even 40 kills on teams. As you see a little bit of a sneak play coming out, like people like to call it a Mr. Krabs. If you just call the hill, you can still cap the hill. And that's exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to triple cap it right there. And let me just explain, you know, Mr. Krabs.
Was that
for any
a
of our
minute
new
long?
players. See?
That was fast.
You know, that was actually pretty fast. But, you know, let's explain that Mr. Krabs play because, you know, I've been using it a while. And some people might not know the terminology of Gears of War. Is Mr. Krabs is when you have multiple people alive and you're fighting on somewhere a hill isn't located, the other team is going to sneak around and then triple cap those hills. So when you hear somebody say like a Mr. Krabs type play, it's just sneaking that triple cap right out from under the other team.
And that's what, you know, Ghost Gaming, you know, how educated and smart they are, and the rest of their team, being able to pick up on that, right? They lost up top that round. They lost it. Godplays had control of it, but they lost the round.
And then Sleepy happened.
Exactly.
Sleepy
So,
happened. That's kind of where heads up play comes.
Play
I
for
mean,
the
you can't let Sleepy get a double kill when you killed two of the best players on that team.
Yep.
And that's the beauty about Sleepy, man. I was actually talking to him this morning, you know, as we were talking about that Fable matchup, you know, we're talking about, you know, speeding or whatever, and I look at him, I say, but you had some triple kills, you know, he had a smile on his face, because not a lot of people talk about his impact in the game. You have to respect it.
You have to respect it, and that's what's so great about this Ghost Gaming. They construct the initials based on their skill set, but having everybody be a complete player and step up when they need to, this team has the pieces.
This is what I was worried about. Speedy gets a double kill, has an M-bar. This is not a position you want to be on if you're on Aspire.
No, this is the one map you don't want to be playing Ghost Gaming on Tiebreaker.
Oh, and he hits you as soon as you're going for a sneak play like that. That's going to make it easy for a player like Rushies to clean that one up, recap the hill, and bring themselves back into the match. But, you know, for either team, once you get the numbers advantage and these rounds continue to, you know, reach, you know, round 2, 3, 4, 5, you need to start making those offensive pushes, whether you're going for a triple cap or a pressure setup. That way you can re-slay them out if need be.
And you can see actually right there, Speedy had control of that M-bar up top, missed the guy that was flanking through, took out one of the members, and he met him up, coming up into that control room, lost the fight as well there. So if he was able to hit that M-bar shot, it would have changed things up. Most likely that player would have backed up and wasn't going to make that aggressive push. When you have the M-bar, you don't really have to worry about going for headshots as much. Since you have so many shots in your chamber coming out so fast, worry about body shots because you have your team right there that's only going to be able to finish in a couple more shots.
That round was absolutely huge as Aspire started out behind but still won the game. They're down 1-2 on the tiebreaker map. But PR, you know a little bit about strategy on this map. Okay, so now that Ghost Gaming, you know, they win that fight pretty convincingly. I mean, do you keep things the same? Do you throw a curveball and send 3 to control tower? What do you do if you're on Aspire right now?
If you're on Aspire, you got to do the like you said, you can do the trick strategy, but with instants being placed in the middle, you can't really deviate from that unless you have a super trick strat. Because once you grab those instants from the team, if you send an extra guy up top, you could throw those instants up top. We've seen Shock do things like that yesterday when he M-barred from bottom to top. And we actually picked up a kill with it.
And those incense can, you know, if you're able to pick them up quickly, you can throw them up here and really, you know, move some people or delay the M-bar pickup.
God plays the blast going against Speedy and Rushies. This fight is going to determine map control. God plays gets down, blast gets the kill on Rushies, but Speedy finishes him off, and he gets the M-bar.
Reptile is actually trying to push over and trying to catch Ribs on the rotation. He's going to be at full red. So now it's up to Ribs to try and clean that one up. He does get the down. He knows somebody else is shooting at him from behind, and Active's saving his teammate right there. And they're going to threaten that home hill of Ghost Gaming. Identif doing what he can. He's going to take out one. You heard the sound coming out. They do have control of B as well. So now it's up to Ghost Gaming to make these pushes. But with Incense in the hand of, I do believe that is Flash. So it's going to be a push that it's not in their favor, but they have to make it.
Oh my God,
man. And there you go. He's still Speedy holding down up top with that M-bar. And right after Speedy picked up the double kill to secure that M-bar, we cut over to the C hill. Ended up Speedy hitting one of the players of Aspire in the back, immediately taking cover, and then Ribs, whether it being Ribs, his veteran nature, or just the great communication by Ghost, he immediately knew he got shot with that M-bar, made that push behind cover, and just drew him out of that fight. And then they ended up keeping control of the C hill because of that.
There's Embar cleaning up the kill with the, able to get those kills from a down player. Definitely a great use of that.
Idem straight up rolling in a 1v2 situation. Cog going for the domination. Idem still alive and was able to escape. That's pretty smart. Pretty smart has to play for him. He didn't force the fight where he could have died, but instead he ran back to support his teammates at the C.
You know, we were talking about, you know, previously after map number 1, like what's it going to take for either of these teams? And I mentioned map number 2 is going to come to that first half, right? Ghost Gaming won the first half 4-2, and they gained the momentum. And it's carrying over into this game. You see 120 to around 190-ish. You know, Ghost Gaming is doing everything right for the most part. They just need to close it out here.
Godplays is taking that move all the way down as he throws the smoke to the other side, knowing that he actually had one on the far left here to force out, but there's multiple shots coming in to cross here, so Godplays can pick up that kill on Rushies, making the move forward and trying to go with the shot blindly over the cover, but Ribs taking him out. It ends up getting sprayed there with the instant throw, getting taken out as well. Flash down too. These incense are all over the place, but Flash was actually using it, just hoping someone was going to push up and just detonating it, hoping that that splash damage was going to kill somebody.
Speedy does still have the M-bar, and you got to assume the next respawn of the M-bar is going to be coming up soon. So with only one hill, you know, that could be a little debate. You know, leave it up there, leave that top control, let Aspire think I'm going to get a free M-bar, and then draw them away from your home hill where they actually need to be.
And C hill's still completely open right now, but there has to be an aggressive push now to the home hill of Ghost, as Aspire already knows that. They need to not worry about their home hill and just get through, take them out, send them back to the respawns here, but you can see Speedy now just holding it through the smoke, not letting them get an inch into their section of the map. You can hear now them standing up. They are ready to run away with this one.
What has to change at this point?
You know, it's a tough map that, you know, it's open, and they're going to be able to, Ghosts are going to be able to shut them down if they continue to fight in these open areas.
I mean, if we're being completely honest, I mean, Aspire, they squeezed out that one round that they actually won, but I mean, it should be 4-0 in Ghost's favor, but if you're Aspire, I mean, you're losing the initial on the most important part of the map. You're losing the initial to win a power weapon. You don't have map control. What has to change?
They're spreading them out here with a sniper bottom and M-bar top, so that's definitely going to spread things out a little bit. But to me, you know, you need something drastic to force a fight and win a gunfight. I think their highest probability of taking it is focusing up top and you know, sending an extra man up there, hit a couple smokes and go win it. But it looks like it's still going to be a 2v2.
And I actually would expect to see if Ghost might lose one of these upcoming rounds to maybe put a block down over one of those current snipers and maybe drop the moonshot instead to try and utilize the aggressiveness of that weapon to finish this off. But you can see now the top fight being actually dominated right now by Ghost. Rushies and Speedy's actually forcing members of Aspire back with their shotguns, and with Rushies now pulling out that M-bar, looking for the headshot, able to get one member. That's Blast down. Blast getting a kill though, still being able to survive. Is he going to stay alive long enough? And Rushies taking a haircut right off the top of the cover to finish off that sweet double kill with the M-bar.
Yeah, I mentioned this before. You know, if you're Aspire, you're a new team, you win map number 1, you have all the momentum. You lose map number 2, but you know, what is that going to map number 3? You know, you're already down 4-1.
Change it up.
You got to think that's deflating, though.
You got to change it up.
Exactly. No. Change it up. I want a boom shot thrown somewhere. Change it up where you're not fighting up top because you're not winning that fight at all.
I mean, I said it from the beginning of Mortal Spawn. I mean, once they blocked off the double Botox spot where Idems would have eventually had it placed, I mean, you give the advantage to Ghost Gaming. You gave them the boom shot on Foundation, and now I mean, look
But
at
they're
this.
just not playing their numbers right now.
No,
and
not at all.
that's what's
Shaking my head
frustrating
right
for
there at
me.
that
I'm
one.
getting kind of frustrated up here.
I mean, it's hard to
because I
play.
want to see a number fight. Like, just you can see exactly what they're doing every round. Like, I just want everybody to understand. If you see a team doing the same exact damn thing every round, put an extra body there and win it, and then rotate. It's really not that.
There we
hard.
go. Three in control tower. This is what we need to see. They have to take advantage of this scenario. God plays, Blast, and who's the third?
Hey, dude, might be Flash. I know Flash
nades
does
might
play
be
middle,
coming
and
up there.
Active
Sleepy's
plays
got
middle
it.
as well.
This is where you have to be aggressive and take advantage of your numbers.
Yep, Sleepy Time able to get one on Rep Solid, so it looks like it's slowed down just a little bit. Rushy's ill-advised usage of that M-bar right there. You know
Look at
there's
how
still a
smart
fight
they're
going on.
playing this. Okay, that could happen. Speedy can't get away, but you know they use their angles and their distance.
They traded
Jesus.
1 for 2. All right, they won the
I
top.
like that. I like it. That's the
But
beginning.
this is what's happening now. The trip cap's coming in. Hope they do have enough time to rotate and decap this, and now they got to establish control. That took a little bit longer. They need to be a little bit faster and crisper with that number advantage, but
I like this. This changes things up. If they can happen to pull out this round, I have hope for Aspire. Because now they put Ghost Game on their toes.
I still would like to see that move shot there, but we're going to continue on with this game here. Blast, he's doing a smart move right here, backing up. He's not overstaying his welcome. He's not putting himself in a bad spot. His teammate gets 2 kills, and then that's when he push back up. It's a great setup right here for Aspire. Let's see if they can close out this round. Speedy getting a trade with Active, so that's good for them. But Ribs getting on Blast right there, and Blast is a huge part of Aspire's offense. So that was a big kill by Ribs right there, and Identiv's picking up yet another one. So Ghost Gaming actually fighting back. It's not too far, a 30-point lead, but Conflicts taking out Ribs right there. Now also still threatening with that triple cap.
God plays.
Man,
Don't
he
do
is
it
not
to
gonna
him.
be
Don't
denied
do it
right
to
now.
him. God plays. Takes out Identiv. That's what I like to see. I want to see Aspire take advantage right now of this situation. Take advantage of the numbers and go for this domination. This is the momentum boost that they will need if they win this round.
Yeah, that fight really can set the entire tone for the rest of the match. It's basically, you're strafing to the point where you're spinning around in circles, cannot hit you, and you're able to pick up that kill when you're completely ready to go down. So you can see now, as they're trying to regain the position, at least at the center map, you have now Sleepy moving out to clean up 1 kill with that sniper on his back, just waiting for Flash to slide into the shotgun, and now moving over to the other side of the map, getting a better angle, and oh, it looks like he got surprised there as Godplays was ready for him on that flank, taking the sniper now out of the equation.
But PR, what happened? I mean, it seemed like everything was going on Aspire's side. Map control, power weapons, numbers. What did they have to do at that last home hill cap?
They just need to play damage control. You have the lead. You just play for your points at that point, because you gotta know in your head, Ghost Gaming has to make a push. So if you just set up, create some sort of a line, you know, I know there's the typical setups that normally people run. If you even do that there, then you have an opportunity to just win off points, and then you have an opportunity that even if you get slayed out for the most part, you could sneak back, you could sneak around and then get that last second sneak cap or prolong the game that way. But they just got slayed out on the home hill. They overstayed their welcome.
20-second respawns. You know, it took a little bit long up top to establish that 3v2 win, but they did win it. They had an opportunity to win the trip cap, and you know, Ribs had a clutch ass kill there. They definitely let it slip. They need to do a better job of closing out that round.
And you can really capitalize on the awareness of your opponent when you have something in the center of the map like the frags. On that last round, Sleepy picked them up. I don't believe threw them up into the control room, but still picked up a kill with it. When you see them getting picked up, knowing they're right below the button, you're going to have to stay cautious, thinking that they're going to get thrown up pretty much right away and spread you back more towards your spawn.
Why is Speedy all the way here? I mean, Sleepy on their side of the map. It's really in the game.
There's probably one up top. You see Speedy's there with him, with Sleepy. You know, Rushy's, I do believe, might be somewhere. But yeah, right there on the top of his head, I see his big rig Dizzy. You win that up top fight so early on, and you win that middle fight just like you saw Sleepy's and Identivs do. You can put that pressure out, especially if Identivs cuts towards Ribs and wins B as well. You can do almost anything you want at that point.
I'm kind of upset right now. So Aspire, they learned to counter Ghost Gaming at the top. But if you look at the numbers and what's happening on the map, Sleepy is straight up abusing rep solid. That can happen. If you're rep solid, you have to take a step back and say, okay, we're in a 3v2, we're winning on this. I need to back up. I need to stay alive for my teammates to go ahead and rotate down to help me out. You can't put yourself in a situation where you get naded out, Lancer down, or just chunk at any given time. You have to stay alive long enough for your team to come down and help you out. Ghost Gaming go 1 round away from winning tiebreaker game.
Yeah, I want to say this might be too late for Aspire to throw that boom shot down. Obviously, I still want to see them do it. It changes the up top fight. You see Active getting first blood out Sleepy. Rushies, I do believe, is the up top player taking out God plays, but the number's still in favor of Aspire as Blast taking out the leader of the team in Speedy, and they're going to continue to rotate their numbers around. Rips full red, but so is Active, so that might have been Rushies up top with Lancer, and that's exactly what I see right there. But the boom shot's still grabbable. I want to see them pick it up. You can't die to anybody. Get down and get revived.
There he gets it. He had 2 guys run in, 1 guy picked it up, got down, and he's still putting a lot of that fire in, actually going for the second, but not able to finish off Rushy's nose, seeing where they're rotating and trying to go back out to the other side. But Flashy actually staying underneath the button out, waiting for that push from Ghost to push him to the center, and there comes Rushy's from the top, runs right to where he was, saying, I can't hit him from where I'm at. I'm just going to go down and take care of business myself.
Bullied him and took the boom shot.
If I was franchise, you know, I would see the emote in the chat saying that can't happen. That is something 100% that cannot happen. You have the boom shot, you have a chance to bring yourself back into the game, and you just completely throw it away as Rush is picking up 2 quick kills with that boom shot.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, if you're playing a football game, you need points off turnovers to win a game. Essentially, they turned over that boom shot right there, and they got points with it. They got downs, crucial kills right there near the incinerator to spread out this entire round. And right now, Aspire has their back completely against the wall with only a few seconds remaining, but Rep Solid luckily able to pick up a kill to delay this inevitability just a little bit longer for them. But it looks like now they're actually going to try and turn things around here with 3 members down of Ghost. This gives them now a little bit of breathing room.
I believe there's like a minute 10 towards the next boom shot spawn. So you got to start setting up, and in about 20 seconds is your no die timer, right? So in about 20 seconds, you're not allowed to die anymore on the team, because then if you do die, that gives position of the boom shot to the other team.
See right now, Rep Solid with that meat shield, just trying to distract a little bit of the members that are coming out of Ghost Gaming spawn. Following with Ribs here up in that butt. He knows that someone's going to try to make a push here up top, but Ribs still holding his position. Had faith in his team, knowing that there was only a couple seconds for that trip cap, but he knew that they were going to be in position to try and stop that. Only gave them a few seconds of that same motivation there, that they might have walked away with that. You could see, though, running in there, making work, and knowing what needed to be done. Now Speedy's standing there waiting, knows there's only a few more moments until that boom's going to be up, and he picks it up, ready to go. They're already moving. And it's another interesting thing. Coming back to the preparation for Ghost, when they know how these spawns are going to come up for all these power weapons right on the second, you know, you're seeing something essentially that your opponents that isn't even there. They can't see. You're going to move up and pick up that weapon on the first frame it comes, while your opponents that aren't keeping tabs on it are going to wait till they can actually see it on the map to make that push. So they're already 2 steps behind.
Great play by God plays with smokes out Speedy, who had the boom shot, so he can move across the map. His team rotations have to be on point right now. It's Ghost Gaming to going for the domination to win the 7th round of the tiebreaker game. Ghost Gaming 2-1 over Aspire. Guys, what did we see? What type of breakdown did Aspire have in this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty convincing at a Ghost Gaming. I think they're the complete package for a map like Forge Blitz, because you have, you know, it plays to their skill sets so well. Sleepy is so smart about pushing or flanking and sort of looking for those opportunities. Ribs sort of sees the big picture, and he's able to sort of dissect the whole thing going down. Idena is such an amazing support player, and then can step up and fill in the gaps. The way that map is laid out, they're just able to sort of, you know, put it into their benefits and their play styles. It's just such a hard map to beat them on.
Well, there was a few things that happened. We saw Speedy and Rushies run rampant up top of the control room, and also we saw Sleepy completely take advantage of Rep Solid. To you, which was the bigger thing for Ghost Gaming?
I think the fact that it wasn't even Ghost Gaming, it was just the fact that Aspire did not adapt at all. So Ghost Gaming was literally able to do whatever they wanted, and that's why I was saying early on in that matchup, just throw boom shot middle. You're not winning the up top fight. E fight doesn't typically matter because of the button, so you throw a boom shot down, you have to send 3 members from each team down there, and it's a 1v1 up top. So if you lose that 1v1, it's not too much of a big deal, especially if you could push across to their side or get in the pillars. But Aspire just, you know, throwing incense in the middle, nades in the middle, something that's not going to change up the fight, and that's something they need to do better going on.
I feel like their inexperience played a role in that. Them blocking off the double Botox spot that could have been used for the end bar, which, you know, Speedy and Reshies had free access to. But if you're on Aspire, if your guy plays it better and the other team was placed at the top before, what are you telling your team throughout the rest of full play?
Well, they're going to need to do something a little bit differently, clearly, because Ghost Gaming was able to adapt to what they were doing. They fought it hard in Foundation because their strategy worked so well right off the bat. You know, that map can be completely unforgiving for a lot of teams, especially if you're playing a team full of goons as your opponents. They can roll as a squad tight and win a lot of those fights, but coming into these next maps, Ghost was able to adapt. They were able to evolve their strategies around what they were doing, and clearly it worked out for them.
But that raises the question, if you're Ghost Gaming, a team that was in the championship game in Mexico at the last event, are you worried if you're them? Because you're struggling against teams like Aspire, Fable. I mean, does that mean anything to them, or are they looking okay?
They got to clean up a little bit. You know, they're winning these games, but they're not clean. They got to clean some things up, and you know, it basically comes down to recognizing when the Wolfpacks are coming and playing against that. You know, of course they want to fight those things, but for Aspire, they need to learn from that particular one better weapon placements because they have the skills. But you're right, they spread them out with the block and the sniper down bottom. There was nothing being placed that added to, you know, their play style, that force of fight. That was Ghost Gaming's map. Like, it felt like that was Ghost Gaming's territory the whole time.
Looks like a lot of ranked match placements. You know, that home hill player's like, he was placing, I want the sniper, you know what I'm saying? In the middle, they're like, oh, okay, I want nades. With the M-bar up top, he's like, I feel like I can win it. But it's not about what you feel anymore. It's about what the team game is and how you prepared for this event. So, you know, things like that, you have to clean up going forward, because once you put the M-bar up top and you put the nades middle, you're just giving Ghost Gaming the fights that they want.
Yeah, so looking at the rest of the pool, how do you think this Aspire roster is going to face up against Fable and Task Force?
Well, Task Force had a rough day yesterday in the pools, so they have a lot to prove today, because if they come in against Aspire, who are obviously coming off of this loss, you know, a lot of teams, they have a little bit of a break, but Aspire, they have a chance now jumping right back into the game on the main stage in such a big way. They can really bounce back hard, and I think they have way more riding on this right now at the moment coming into this game.
And talking about our main stage games, we have Task Force against Aspire Gaming coming up next with Team Supremacy and the Ghost crew. Immortal Spawn, what game are you most excited to watch?
You know, I want to see Aspire carry and win this Task Force game. I think it's going to be really difficult against Fable. The way that Fable plays and how methodical that team is, you know, it's going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah. So when you look at Task Force Gaming, who's on that roster and who really stands out to you?
I mean, you got Demo, Strafey, Detox, Keem, and Neglect. The person that stands out to me most is probably maybe Keem.
Really?
Keem, you know, former member of Ghost Gaming, like he does a little bit of everything right there. But then on the flip side, maybe Strafey as well. A lot of people used to say Strafey was kind of be the next best thing, but then something happened along the road, and he kind of like, I don't know if he fell off, lost motivation. He was actually let go from Demo's team and then re-picked back up.
Yes.
So, you know, you got to think, you know, Strafey has something to prove.
Yes, I would like to give a huge congratulations to Ghost Gaming on that hard-fought win against Aspire. But I say we take it off to an interview with that team.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here live with Sleepy Time from Ghost Gaming. You just won map number 3. You got off to a slow start, but you came back and won it eventually. What were you telling your team after that first map to kind of keep yourselves composed and in the game?
I mean, as you can see from yesterday, we faced Fable and we had like the same adversities. And then I told them, you know, it's one map, it's a series. You know, you have to beat us one more map to beat us, send us home, right? So all I told them is just stay composed. Don't worry about anything of the, trash talking wise or anything like that, and we're gonna win, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been a top 3 team for a long time, top 2 in Mexico City. What are you gonna do differently in this event to make sure you hoist that trophy now, finally, to be called champions?
Honestly, everyone knows that we have the skill, the best skill in the game. It's just, sometimes we get a little negative, a little toxic, but if we clean that up, nobody could beat us.
All right, anything you want to say to the Ghost Gaming faithful at home watching live?
Everybody that support us, all my family and friends watching back home, I love you guys.
All right, well, good luck to you. We're going to send it back over to Veli on the desk for our next lineup.
Shout out to the leader of Ghost Gaming, Sleepy Time, one of the most consistent players in the game with huge double kills and triple kills throughout this whole tournament so far. But our next game coming up, Task Force Gaming against Aspire. Guys, what are your predictions for this?
You know, if Aspire can clean up those weapon placements and play to their advantage, they can win this.
Really? Okay. So do you feel like Demo and crew has a chance against this new Aspire roster?
Yeah, I don't think that they're completely out of the equation here. They obviously, did have that slow start in the pool yesterday, but with them coming into this game against Aspire, they can also make use of how Aspire played in that game. They can learn things right away, and maybe since that game happened just right away, they're about to jump right back into another main stage match. They don't have enough time maybe to talk things over, change things up. You might see a lot of the same stuff. Hopefully that they're going to be mindful and change a lot of those things.
Yes, with Task Force Gaming down 0-2 in their polls, how big is this win for their legacy for players such as Demo Bounce, Keem, Strafey, and Detox?
This is huge. This is gonna probably make or break their event. Because if you lose this match, you go 0-3, you're 4th place in your poll. You got a big day ahead of you, right? And these players don't typically play all day on a Saturday. They're used to being in the winners bracket. They're used to being in pool play. But I just want to talk about the magnitude of this match.
Oh, go ahead.
Before this event online, Demo and God Plays were on the same team. They could not get along. And then they split ways, and now God plays in a team with Aspire, who has a great showing so far. So I do think this is going to go in the favor of God plays and Aspire, but I think this is going to be a huge grudge match for both teams.
It's great input, PR. But, guys, we'll see you soon with the matchup between Task Force and Aspire coming soon after this short break.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night.
Well, thanks for the follow there.
Be together.
39 kills! Sweet!
View and stream your favorite games on the Mixer mobile apps.
Best day ever. Maybe I'll try to open this one first. What do you think?
We're gonna start with this one.
Another one.
Happy birthday!
Come on in. Okay, seriously, enough with the pigs.
And chicken.
Interactive Minecraft streaming like never before. Only on Mixer.
There you go.
Seriously? Again with the car keys? You don't have to help.
Interact with your favorite streamers on Mixer.
A place like Las Vegas for a chef is like a giant playground.
We try to touch all senses.
This is a gem amongst gems.
It's just a magical experience. Every top chef in the world is here.
I want people to leave here feeling like I could go back for more.
We located the hostage on the 2nd floor. We all go in together. Copy? On my go. 3, 2. Jimmy, what are you doing?
What? You guys know I farm on Tuesdays?
This alfalfa's not gonna water itself.
4-player co-streaming on Mixer.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about
thanks
the
for the
girl
follow
you
there.
love and hold her tight. So happy together.
39 kills! Sweet!
View and stream your favorite games on the Mixer mobile apps.
Seriously? You know, you don't have to help.
Interact with your favorite streamers on Mixer.
A lot of people don't understand esports. They don't know what it is.
Everyone's on their feet. The crowd has erupted as Ghost Gaming advanced to a championship final for the very first time.
My brothers especially, they would be like, you need more balance, you know, not so much gaming. No, like, this is what I like to do. This is what I love to do. Esports is a thing.
The victor's decided by who's the best and who puts the most work in, who's the better player.
That's the ultimate goal for everyone. No one should be happy to get second place. No one should be happy to get top 8. It's first place or nothing.
We're losing because we're getting out-teamworked. Jeff had a crucial call-out where you remember you came off spot and you got flanked on the home? I heard you, but it was vaguely.
I'm feeling better after the win today, but it was still very, very sloppy. Our potential still hasn't even been hit. We've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times out of the 4 weeks we've been together.
I really love winning. I try to pump up my teammates. If we're down on points, I tell them it's not over, we're still going. You have a chance.
I would describe the Gears esports community as a passionate, loud group of people.
The more people you hear cheering for you and they're going wild, this makes you want to keep doing it again and again and again.
It's amazing. It's unreal. You know, it's surreal. Like, they're walking up to me with my autograph. They want to know me. And, like, you know, they're telling me things. I'm like, no, thank you. Like, thank you for your love. Like, you power me forward.
The advice that I would give parents who have children who are heavily into video games is support them. Coming from where we came from and to see the good kid that he is.
It brings tears to my eyes because I didn't never think that a game would change our lives so much. And it has. It has.
You know, when we end after Championship Sunday, we're all in tears because we can't believe this is our job. This is what we get to do.
I just wish that we could show more of what esports was. They're not just gaming. They're doing more than just your average high school sport.
The future looks crazy. It looks like Gears is going to be around for a very long time, which I'm happy about because I've been playing since I was 11 years old. But I'm virtually been playing Gears for half of my life. The future is very, very bright if you're a Gears fan.
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. As I was growing up, all I knew was baseball. All I did was watch baseball. After I turned 7, I moved to the Dominican Republic. From when I was 7 to 11 was like the best moments of my life in DR. Once I left, that's when everything went downhill. We've been through a lot, man. We've been through a lot. My dad broke up with my mom. My mom, my brother, my sister, we ended up leaving the Dominican Republic, moving back to New York. That was my lowest point in my life. Being homeless for 8 months, you know, not knowing if you're gonna eat the next day, because there's moments where we didn't know we was gonna eat the next day. School was also like rough too, because at school, like people that lived in the shelter, they were treated differently. So once my mom got us out of there, it kind of like, it motivated me, it like inspired me, it showed me like my mom made something happen out of nothing. So if she could make something happen out of nothing, why can't I do it? I discovered Gears of War through my uncle. Gears of War is really popular in New York. People actually grow up hearing, you know, the game. To become a pro player, I had to take a lot of losses. I had to take beatings online during scrims, lose a lot of 2Ks. Honestly, to become a pro in Gears is just dedication. You just have to be dedicated and just don't quit. I was thinking about quitting when I took too many losses in this game before I placed pro. I was like, I haven't played pro in a while, why would I keep playing? Then I got a team offer from Pell and Soto and them to come play with them, and I came back and ended up placing 8th. You don't need to quit. You want to win an event, you need to keep playing the game. I want to win an event, so I'm not going to quit until I get there. I started creating content after I turned pro, which was during UE. There was no tutorials on YouTube about Gears of War 4 because I typed it in. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I take the initiative? My very first actual video was my tutorial video on how to wall bounce, and that really got a lot of traffic. So as I kept on uploading videos, my subscriber count kept going up. Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Domes, and today I'm gonna teach you guys. I do create content in Spanish for some of my viewers that speak Spanish. That's where 50% of my views come from.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Hoy les presento
I think fans like my videos so much and my content because I'm not a fake person. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, people see who I am. If you like who I am, they subscribe. If they don't like it, they don't. But the ones that stay are the ones I care about. So whatever I upload, you're gonna see the real me. I'm not gonna stop creating Gears of War content because I want the game to grow. I'm honestly passionate about Gears of War growing. I know if the game grows, I grow. That's how it works. By the end of the season, I honestly want to be one of the top players in the game. I'm gonna grind. I know I'm gonna get there. I just have to keep playing the game, putting 10 hours a day into the video game after getting home from school. I just want to be the best player in the game. I want to win a championship. This season, I really want to make my mom proud. I feel like my mom is the only person I should be looking up to for the things she went through with us. She's the only person I really want to make proud. If I could buy her a house, I would. I would literally, like, anything. I'm just passionate about what I do. Like, if I want to work on something and I want to become the best at something, I just don't stop. Like, I have to keep going. Don't ever quit. Don't stop. If you fall, don't stay on the ground. Like, get back up and keep going. Don't just like sit there and be like, who's gonna help you get up? Not everybody's gonna help in life's gonna help you get up. Don't stop when things aren't working out in your favor or life complications is getting in your way of you truly doing what you want. Because if you really want it, you'll get it no matter what.
Welcome back to the Gears Pro Circuit. Day 2 is underway, hosted by UGC. I'm your host, Veli. I'm here with Golden Boy, Deluxe, and Cleaner, our analyst. How are you guys doing today?
Amazing.
All right, there we go. Actually, we're actually going to go into a feature station game right now, the Master Tide 1-1. It is the Ghostal crew going against Road Best Gaming right now, and it's looking pretty good. Road Best are up 2-0.
Yeah, and Ghost Your Crew, you know, they were a team coming in an open bracket. We all kind of picked them to make it into pool play pretty easily. They're a team of veterans. This is the team from last year, minus Witchy. Now they have Kraz, who, in my opinion, is a little bit of an upgrade in his gameplay. And they're up, actually, they're down 2-0 to World Best Gaming. Again, we know they always start slow on Friday, but on Saturday, here they come again, making that run.
Yeah, you want to see World Best, you know, step up here, you know, when it matters most. I mean, I actually went into the bathroom to, you know, go ahead, handle my business, and I was listening in on Strangulate talking with one of his teammates. I didn't get to see who it was, but they were feeling pretty confident, even though they had lost their last game. You know, they'd lost game 2. They were feeling all right. So I think that Gosu Crew in this matchup, despite being down 2-0, I think they still have some fight left in them.
Well, that's where the veteran experience comes in from Stringly. He's a Gears of War 3 champion. He's won a few events with Synergy. So when you have a player like him on your team, you know, he always understands that there's always a fighting chance, even if you're down and you lost a game or two, because he knows in the long run, you know, it's a marathon, not a race. So it's really good to have a player like that on your team, but the question is, can they come together to beat a team like World Best? They have very different play styles. You have the Gosu Crew, where they rely heavily on team fire and teamwork. And you have World Best, where they lack that, but when it comes to individual skill, they're great.
That they are, but you know, you're going to have Strang, while we're talking about it, he absolutely went off in Mexico City.
Yeah.
You had this man, I mean, foundation, this man was untouched. He was 2, 3-piece, quad feeds. Absolutely, this is a strength that we saw in the older games of Gears of War. He certainly came out. And with this roster, if they put the effort into it, and again, they're firing for each other, shooting for each other, they absolutely can come out on top.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have a little more slaying power than maybe you're giving them credit for here. And Strangly, he's kind of in the same league right now with Soto, where he's trying to get his name back out there, get back into the mix. You know, he hasn't been on a real top team in a long time, so a bit of a redemption event for him here in Vegas. And so far, down 3-0, not looking good on the third map, but plenty of time left.
Yeah, I definitely think, though, a win for Strang here would put him, I wouldn't say necessarily, you know, heads and tails in the conversation, but at least it gets people saying, oh, well, it's good to see Strangley, you know, back at it again. I mean, these are players who, you know, even I recognize, Hudson's and Yogurt, right? He's supported by some pretty decent players, and I think that this is a huge opportunity for them. So but they have to win.
You said that they have more slaying power than I give them credit for. Who on that team stands out to you? I mean, when you look at the makeup of the team, okay, you have Kraz, he's, you know, a self-proclaimed home hill, you know, best home hill player. You have Yogurt, he's known for being one of the best support players since he came into the scene. Strangulate, okay, he had that same ability back in Gears 3, but he hasn't really shown that recently. So who on this team do you think can really step up against the top tier teams in the game?
I mean, I agree with you in the aspect of that they don't have that one Slayer who consistently goes off, who every map, you know, he's going to be on top. Oh, my God.
Okay.
But each map, it could be, I mean, Yogurt could go off one map and Strang next map. Maybe Kraz goes off the third map. So it's not about even having that one main Slayer. It's about being able to have that one game for any one of these players to really pick it up for them in the slaying department.
Well, it's actually pretty important that they play that way because they rely on each other as a team and not just an individual player to carry them to victory. And I think that's pretty good when you play at this high level, but still, you're going to need that player that's going to go off against your Speedy and your Rashies and your Blast and God plays.
But I think we saw that from Strang in Mexico.
Okay.
I mean, he was proving that he can still slay, he can still push in, he can still win these initials, and he was coming out on, you know, these 2-on-1 situations.
Kraz.
And like I said, there we go.
All right.
Kraz, maybe he's going to be the man this game to pick it up for his team. Down 3-0, they're going to need all the help they can get. It's actually one of World Best better maps, maybe their best map they play on here.
I mean, that was pretty big that he got it against the likes of Crush One Eternity. You're looking at two players that were known to be, you know, at the top for a very long time, since the beginning of time with Gears of War, but also on this team with World Best, you have a player that's really special. I like Xenon. He's placed top 6 twice this season, but a lot of people don't know that he's new to Gears of War competitive. This is his first game that he's ever played competitively. And I think that speaks, you know, wonders about volumes about where his ceiling actually is. He's playing at such a high level to be so new at the game.
Well, one thing that I've really taken away from, you know, my return here to Gears of War is that there is a lot of young talent. There are a lot of new faces. It's not the same usual suspects that are sitting at the top. Ghost Crew, they're going to get their first point, so a huge win for them in the 4th round. But, you know, you're seeing that there's more youth coming into the scene. They're all getting into it. They're all, you know, are clanging and banging with some of the veterans that have been in this space since, you know, Gears 1, Gears 2. And I think that it doesn't matter the game, whether it's you know, Halo or Gears of War, to be able to, for the veterans, surround yourself with the young talent that you know want to play the game in a much more aggressive manner. That helps the veterans to be able to establish some kind of leadership role in the team and then guide these, you know, as I like to call them, the young gods to victory. But then you have teams that, you know, like we see in other games like Halo, sorry to reference it again, but it's the best example I could think of, like Splice, where you have just 4 young players who are just so dominant. You're going to start to see that happen here as well, where you're going to see all these young players kind of group up. And to be fair, I think that's what we're going to see later on in the Aspire matchup as well, when Aspire finally buy their earbuds at 7-Eleven. We're gonna see Aspire versus Task Force, and we're going to see young teams take the stage and contend. And honestly, I think it speaks, or it's pretty funny that I make the joke like that, but it's the honest to God truth. They're so young, they didn't think that they would play on the main stage, so they have to get earbuds.
Look at the knowledge that Golden Boy just put out there. But one thing I want to ask you, I mean, you saw Aspire play just now, but I mean, it's a roster full of new players, plus God plays a veteran against a roster full of veterans.
Yeah.
How big is this for both of their legacy?
Oh, I mean, you know, for God Plays, he now gets into that discussion of, it doesn't matter who I team with, I win. I win. I just make good players, right? I just breed victory, and there you have 4th round going to a world best there. But I think that it's funny because I look at an Aspire situation. It's not necessarily the same thing, but I think about, you know, Pistola and the current Team Envious roster, where he picked up 3 young players and now they're in the top 3. Not necessarily the same situation with Aspire, but still it helps to find and scout out that young talent, bring them to an event, give them this kind of atmosphere, give them that environment, and only in a matter of time, they will be the names that we talk about time and time again on the stage.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of history. Okay, this Task Force roster is led by Demo Bounce. So just so you know, in Dallas, the first event, Season 2, Demo formed his own team with a bunch of kids that weren't really consistent pros in the game.
Yeah.
One of the players, Zenon on Rose Best. Zenon plays top 6 with Demo on that team with Strafey and Detox. That team, you know, went through some things, and, you know, they placed outside of top 8. So it's really good when these veterans pick up these young guns to actually do well with them and let the league know that, you know, they can win with no matter who's on their team. But it's all about consistency and just being together, and I feel like that's extremely important. And when it comes to Demo Bounce, I mean, what can you tell us about him when it comes to consistency and holding things together to be a big name in the game?
I mean, he's kind of had his ups and downs here in Season 2. I think his biggest problem right now has been his defined role, you know. So we've seen him kind of take the Slayer role and then kind of back up and take more of a support IGL role. I think for Demo, the best bet for him is to kind of fall back, let someone take the lead, and let him just do what he used to do best, not slay out and just pick up those kills. So, I mean, when he was leading those young guns back on the Fire and Ice team, that team was really good because they all had defined roles. Zenon was their home support player.
It made sense.
You had everybody kind of filling their spot. But now with the team of Task Force Gaming, it's kind of a little bit scattered. Nobody kind of knows exactly what role they're playing on each map, and that can really hurt you, especially here in Vegas.
Well, you know, it's about finding the right person in the right place at the right time. And that's certainly an issue with that roster. You know, doubling back to Aspire Gaming, you know, 3 of these players, you've got Flash, Blast, and Repsol. They've teamed together since their very first LAN event. You know, they started out with these small locals, if you will, the Microsoft events that we're doing for Gears of War during the off-season, and they went to every single event on the East Coast. They got experience together, you know, and they've kind of built the roster. To see them, I mean, this is their first, you know, real shot. Like, they're going to be on main stage. This is huge for them. You know, they made it out of pool play. They fought hard. And, you know, with the addition of God Plays, you kind of see that. You know, the veteran coming in, being the in-game leader, kind of pushing them. And I think we're going to see a similar situation like with Fire and Ice we were just talking about.
I mean, these guys, they made a name for themselves already. I mean, they took a map off of Ghost Gaming convincingly. They really had a shot at tiebreaker game. I don't care what the round count was. I mean, they had a shot. It was just small things. You know, their inexperience as a team. I felt like if they had a coach, a real veteran player behind them other than God Plays, they would actually have a chance against Ghost Gaming. But I really hope that these group of young guys, they look at why they lost. I don't want them to be mad at each other. I want them to realize why they lost, reflect on it, and come back stronger to go against Task Force. And I feel like this is a really good game to bounce back from. Because Task Force right now, they're struggling. They're 0-2 in their pool. You know, there's a lot of controversy around this roster. There's no better team we would want to go against other than this team.
And who's not struggling right now is World Best. 4-1, potential 5-1 on the horizon. Belly, how frustrating is this? We can't see these guys play like this on Friday, but Saturday they always show up, and they're just doing a little bit of everything. Crush mode with Sniper, and doesn't even need it probably.
Well, they're waiting this one out as they force them back on A, and those two crew just really don't have an answer with this aggression that World Best are throwing their way into Slays. And of course, that aggression is accompanied by a long shot as well as a boom shot. 4 seconds left, and then it will be domination. World Best, they're going to make that happen, and that's going to be 5 points for World Best. But we will we'll take a look at that game later on.
Yes.
Because we have a game on the main stage.
I'm really excited to see this game now. We saw Aspire go against Ghost Gaming, but now they will be going against Task Force guys. What are your predictions for this? What do you expect in this matchup?
I think it's going to be a close match, but I'm gonna go on the side of Aspire. I think it's going to be 2-1. But you know what? You've got some veteran players on both sides and some new blood. I think we're gonna see a lot of rotations. You know, maybe some opportunities for the rotations from Aspire Gaming at the weapon placements. That's something that maybe they're gonna take away from that Ghost match.
All right, well, I'm really excited to see this game of the day. The second game is really big. I would like to send this off to the main stage with Task Force going against, Task Force going against Aspire.
We are back on the main stage for the next match. Let's do this. First team, Aspire. And they got to go up against somebody. Let's bring out Task Force. So, first question for you. Your last event of last season was Vegas. How do you feel you've grown since that last event?
I feel like I'm a whole different person in season 2, and honestly, I just feel like the team that I'm on right now we're hungry and we're here and we're here to show up.
That's good stuff. And how do you feel going up against a former teammate, Demo?
I mean, honestly, it's I just hope we have a good game. So.
Right on. And so, you guys had a tough Friday. What are your feelings after a tough Friday?
Sometimes, I mean, going through adversity helps shape you in the best way. So it's like, you know, our backs are against the wall, or they are currently against the wall. I like being in this position. I'm used to it.
That's good stuff. I was told that there's a lot of criticism too. Do you have any response for criticism as of late?
There's always going to be noise. It's my job to block it out. Me and my teammates just block out the noise and play our game. We're just here to show up.
Well, I say shake hands. Let's do this.
Understand that you said Aspire has the best chance of taking this game. Deluxe, do you agree with him?
The thing is, I love Cleaner, of course. You know, Aspire, they had a good first map against Ghost. But the thing that is really kind of getting me here is that it's still a group of amateur players plus God plays. So their first time on the main stage, their first time with the bright lights on them. And although, you know, Task Force has been scattered at times, versus Fable, versus Ghost, they can't get away with that. But versus Aspire, they might have a good chance to come out with that win.
Yes, and as we take a look at our map bans and picks, first map will be taken off on Harbor, followed by Lift, and if needed, reclaimed on tiebreaker game. Golden Boy, how do you think this is going to play out?
I mean, after that last game that we had Aspire against Ghost, I felt like Aspire were riding a wave of momentum, but their own energy actually went against them there. And that happens a lot with these young teams. It doesn't matter the game. You start getting loud, you start getting into it, and then you lose one round. And then you're like, okay, we still got this.
And Ghost was saying,
you get up, right? And then Ghost gets up and they start talking that hot trash. And then Aspire lost, excuse me, another round. And then you're like, okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. And then the third round came. And then it just snowballed. And all that energy and all that positivity that they had absolutely faded away. And then we saw Ghost Gaming have their way with Aspire. They need to shake off whatever happened in that Ghost Gaming matchup. Look forward to this game. They feel like they're capable of winning it. I think they're capable of winning it. But it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, definitely. But speaking about Task Force, they're led by Demo, a guy that placed top 2 last season, Season 1. What does he need to do to get his team ready for this matchup?
I mean, I hope they went back last night to the hotel and kind of talked over their problems, see what they did wrong, came in today, clean slate. We're still in pool play, so plenty of time to come back, and really that's what they got to do.
What will be their keys to victory?
Demo has to shot call, step it up. Again, recognize that they're playing Aspire, an inexperienced team. Kind of exploit that if you could. Get them out of their comfort zone, make them feel the pressure, and just collapse on them.
And what's important about Aspire bouncing back from that tough loss against Ghost Gaming?
You know what? You have a relatively newer in-game leader with God Plays, but he has the experience. It's just going to be a matter of he can position his players where he needs them, but they need to have faith in him. When he makes a call, they need to react quickly and efficiently. You've got some great slayers. It's just going to be a matter if they're working cohesively together.
So on this first map, is individual skill or teamwork going to be the key to victory here?
I mean, yeah. This is, at the end of the day, a team game, and you have to have that coordination. I think one thing you got to also, and Cleaner made a good note there, they have the Slayers. I'm looking at Blast and Flash to be those guys. They were very loud on that stage. But also another player, though, that I had saw was Active. And Active, funny guy almost, because like when I was looking at him, he wasn't really joining in the trash talk.
He was just kind of hanging. He was like, listen, I'm here to win.
He's as like support as support could possibly be. He was just lancering when he can, making the call outs, but making some solid plays too. So you're going to look for your Slayers, but I'm also going to be looking for Active to kind of help out a little bit more there. I also want him to get a bit more vocal.
Yes.
And because that was something that I didn't really notice in that Ghost Gaming matchup when I was watching it over at the Feature Station A. So you just, as a support player, you got to be able to call that stuff out a little bit more.
Oh, big time. I'm very excited for the first game of the day between these two teams. We're sending this off to Task Force against Aspire.
All right, well, time to jump into the action here, Deluxe, and I'm pretty pumped for this game, especially after what we saw Aspire do to Ghost Gaming. I caught some words with Sleepy a little while ago and after that game, and Sleepy said, he thinks that this squad's pretty solid, but they need to work on their coordination. That is just something that he had noticed right away in that game, and he also said, too, the trash talk, I'm sure it didn't help.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost is one of those teams where, they'll tell you right to your face, they love when you talk trash against them. It kind of fuels their fire, helps them come back. So when that was happening from Aspire, maybe a little bit too much. But is that the same kind of team Task Force is? If there's some trash talk going on from Aspire, is Task Force going to take that and get down themselves, or are they going to fight back?
That's right, and I believe this is just warm-ups right now because this is not, I think the first match was Harbor. So, getting a little warm on that stage, which is fine. They just had to make a run to 7-Eleven, pick up some earbuds. I mean, I would do the same thing too, right? Hopefully they got some good ones that weren't worth 99 cents.
Yeah.
Did he really? Oh, goodness gracious. It's like you made pool play. You should know that you need some damn earbuds. I think it just goes without saying.
Well, they made it last night too. It wasn't like they made it today. They were already in last night. They had a whole night to kind of get that going, but
some gummies.
Call him out.
Call him out. Call him out. Demo. Is that why you're going for Aspire in this game?
No.
Okay.
Well, I get
So he owes man, that dude owes me some headphones. I'm never rooting for
Aspire to win.
No, at the end of the day, I was like, no, don't worry about it, man. It's not that big of a deal. Because I think they were left at the venue or something. Like, I saw him at the hotel. I'm like, yo, Demo, you got my headphones? He was like, oh, I'll pay you for them. I'm like, no, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Bring your headphones, guys.
Were they like Astros?
No, you know what? Thankfully, they were like just travel ones I usually bring.
Okay.
Just ones I could plug in a little monitor.
Couple throwaways.
Little cheapies.
Yeah, like maybe like $15 tops.
Went over to Best Buy, got like that cheapo brand. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're my travel ones. So, if I leave them on the plane or something, hey, it's all right.
It's all right. Well, So that was the warm-up there, and the players should be ready to go. Ooh, I see some
I don't
yawning.
like that. I don't
like that yawning.
Uh-oh.
You hate to see it happen. You hate to see
So
the exhaustion.
you see Blast right here, right before we switch the camera. You're gonna. He is the trash talker.
Really?
You will see him. I mean, over his monitor, yelling, screaming. He gets his team hype.
Oh yeah, he was that dude. At
the end of every event, this man, he does not have a voice. I don't even know how he speaks.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have a funny little story with him too.
Yeah.
So I ran an online tournament one time, and their team was in it, Aspire, before God Plays with Blast, and I seeded them like somewhere in the 8 range or so, based off how they were doing and how the other teams were doing. I saw him in Mexico, and he comes over to me and goes, "Deluxe, how are you gonna see me so low? What's wrong with you?" I was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Gotta earn that, man.
he was literally offended by it. I was like, "Okay, well, show up in Mexico then. We'll see what happens."
All right, yeah. So we're finally about to get things underway. Golden Boy Deluxe, take it away.
All right, well, I was completely wrong. For some reason, I was delusional in thinking we were going to Harbor.
Yeah, we're not
Deluxe,
surprised by that, of
You
course.
should have helped me out there.
I'm only here to help in certain things, not the map picks.
I clearly, I cannot rely on you when I need to. We do not make a good tag team. We cannot go for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
We will not have to go for those because Raw is right there. But welcome back, GB. We're here in round number 1, Task Force versus Aspire.
Back on topic. There we go. So let's see, as Aspire will be in the cog, currently in the blue. Slow game, slow start here for both of these teams. Really just trying to feel each other out here. You get the vibe, Task Force. They're going to have to fight out of their home, recognizing that first battle went to Aspire, and Aspire with control, with 66% there of the map, A and B control firmly in their grasp. But now we're going to start to see some rotations happen, and I like this here. But they got to get the kills, and Godplay's coming out huge with 2. Can he get the third? No, that's going to be Strafey with the stop.
Yeah, so often we see when you lose that B hill, you rotate out wide and try and play for both home hills. It's exactly what was happening there, but shut down by Godplays. Now we're on board with Strafey. 2 hills to 1 for Aspire. Trying to make a name for themselves yet again, a team comprised of amateurs and Godplays, former pro, looking to get his name back out there on a team, and so far is a fast and furious fight over by B.
Yeah, I like that collapse there from Task Force. They gave him no room to breathe, and then they're just working together with those Nashers, making those call-outs happen, and then getting the kills as necessary. They have all the bodies stacked on B, forcing back Aspire, and Aspire simply just do not have an answer in this situation, and this is just domination. Keem slaying his heart away, and now they're looking to jump onto A, really push their advantages here.
Yeah, and I think this map definitely does favor Task Force. A bit more of an open map, and we know that the Aspire team, very shotgun-heavy team, Godplays, and the rest of these guys flash. They love to play with those Nashers, but this is a team game. Again, you have to support, you got a team fire, crossfire, and right now, Task Force, round number 1, doing a better job.
And I think, Aspire in the Ghost Gaming matchup, they put a lot into that match, right? Think about who their opponent was there. Ghost Gaming, this is a team that has just such an incredible tenure in the Gears of War scene, especially in the Gears Pro circuit. And for Aspire to take Ghost the distance like that was huge for them. But this is a young squad that needs to rally the troops, because there are more matches to play in this group, and every one of these games matter. Sure, it would have been great to get that win against Ghost, but now you're here in this situation against Task Force. You need this victory, and you cannot fall flat. You cannot start flat like this.
Yeah, and you were saying earlier how this is a team of momentum. So we saw them win first map. They were really hyped, really excited. How are they going to do in the face of adversity? If they go down here early to Task Force, maybe 3, maybe 4 rounds, can they come back on that? Because they were not able to come back on map 3 versus Ghost. Ghost kind of ran away with that one. So
oh yeah,
that's
just when you started to see the engine kind of fizzle out there. Whatever was turning the cogs of Aspire simply was not enough in that game 3, so they're going to need to have to rev that up as soon as they possibly can. Exchange happens, Blast is going to be able to get that first kill, but immediately answered by Keem. And Keem has been pretty solid thus far, really led the charge in that last round, which gave them that victory and that 1 point on the board. Kind of set the tone of this game. Once again, just waiting for the collapse, knowing that a player's going to be around this corner, and I just like this pacing from Task Force, not pushing in willy-nilly, not trying to get all aggressive when they don't have the numbers.
Yeah, Keem, known as a great overall player. He can kind of change his role up to support Slayer in the blink of an eye, and he's doing a great job right now. And again, playing for your life and staying alive for your team is so big in Gears of War. Don't push ill-advised. Wait for your teammates, call those rotations, get those marks. And so far, Task Force, they're down 2-1, but they're still in the fight, and Keem wants to rotate around here and cause a little trouble.
Who's going to get this first pick? That's really going to dictate the pace of this one. It's going to be Demo who gets the kill onto Active, so Aspire are going to be a man down. They end up losing Blast and God plays there. It's left up to just 2 players, Flash and Rep Solid. Rep trying to stay alive, but he ends up losing Flash in the process, and Rep is going to be wiped out, and that is going to set them back quite a bit as you have Actives off of the spawn, but they're just going to have to play their home and prevent the push from Task Force.
Yeah, God plays a former member of this Task Force squad. Now, the big thing with them, why it kind of went south for that team, was God plays as an IGL and so is Demo. So they were kind of butting heads for a while, but now we're seeing God plays versus Demo. Who can call the shots better? Who can call the rotations better? And of course, who can get that win?
Yeah, this is a big matchup for those 2 veterans here in the Gears of War community, but the domination is going to happen in 3 seconds, and it will be Task Force yet again, just stopping them right at the front door. Blast just hobbling around trying to stay alive. You have Flash going in for the challenge. He's going to deny it just for the time being, and these players are pushing in like lemmings one after the other. They have to get these kills, though, Task Force, if they want to keep the pressure on Aspire, and that is exactly what's happening. Detox pushes forward. Oh, wait a minute, though. You're going to have Actives coming in with a huge double, and that's going to force them out. Keep the drive alive here for Aspire for the time being.
Wow, maybe that will get them hyped up. Golden Boy for you. Definitely a big play. They got on their home hill. It was a little bit Task Force staying in the fight a little bit too long there, and ultimately could not get that trip cap. And now you got to be careful here. 173 to 135. They're going to need a trip cap. So if you're Aspire, not much time to move and a big map to get across. So your push has to come now. You cannot wait for them to respawn and get the numbers.
And that happened in round 1 too, when they had numbers, they had position, and they kind of just rested on their laurels. They didn't really try and get aggressive. I want to see that aggression, so I agree with you there wholeheartedly, Deluxe. Just want them to get in their face and let them know that they are here to play some games, here to play some Gears on the main stage. Demo, though, is going to get that down onto Actives. They're using the meat shield. The domination will be denied by Task Force, but Aspire, they want to end this one, and you see going to Task Force. They ended up overextending to the other side and just not allowing them to get that domination. A very smart play there from Task Force to kind of get the read in that moment.
Yeah, neglected there, making a big play for his team. The OE, he single-handedly pretty much won him the round there at the end. For me, I'm questioning Aspire. You got to keep eyes on your home hill.
Yeah.
You can't allow it to happen. You have pressure already on their home hill. You have B, no problem there. And just nobody watching their home hill was a complete blunder from them.
Just so much activity that was happening at the pickup truck there, right on the home hill, that they simply just overlooked that push through the platform. I honestly really blown away that ended up happening there. And also, I do want to give a huge shout out to Strafey, who has he's at 10 kills at this point in time. He has just been slaying and getting that support from his squad.
Yeah, boom shot goes down though, so now the fight's gonna get a little more furious here. It's gonna be down in pit, so no more pumping station fight just yet. They want to get that boom, secure a boom shot there, and then make the rotations afterwards. They're gonna push up here with Strafey first of the fight, already 10 kills to his name, and looking for more.
Demo getting that first blood here. Let's get that boom shot, he's saying, I'm sure, as the comms come in hot and heavy. But the kills are also coming in too. Strafey once again stands tall, and they are gonna claim the boom shot. And I'm sure Strafey is gonna pick that up. Yes, he will. And that is just gonna add insult to injury. Is now Aspire staggering off of the spawn. And look for Task Force to just get in their face with the boom. Goodbye. Back to the respawn with you, Rep Solid. Another one in front. Easy pickings. Flash. That's going to be 2 members down. And they have not even pushed in to claim their home just yet. And Strafey, while he does go down, he is not out quite yet. They're just supporting one another. And you know, I like this, right? They're just applying the appropriate pressure, forcing them back. They're just, it almost feels like Aspire, like their shot calls are not clean, and they're not really focusing on a given target at one point in time.
Yeah, and they're playing a little rope-a-dope here is Task Force Gaming. You saw on the right side, distraction come in, a double kill for Detox, broke that hill open for them, and 3-0 for Task Force right now. And man, do they need this. They're 0-2 currently. Not looking good on Friday, but again, Saturday and Sunday, that's where the games are won, the championships are made, and we'll see what happens.
This is it for Task Force, and a great start for them, getting those 3 rounds. And despite the boom shot being placed by Aspire, not winning the objective that you place is heartbreaking to say the least, but now here we go.
Now, drop shot does go down, so we're seeing more in Season 2. This is a play we didn't see really in Season 1. Boom shot on one side of the map, drop shot on the other to counter the boom shot. So I love that play. I love that placement, but again, you got to win those initials. You got to get the weapons, or else it doesn't matter what you put down.
Well, it seems like it's going to come down to a very heated 1v1 over at B that will take the drop shot, but a lot of utility, a lot of resources being invested into the boom shot. Trades come through. Losing Strafey early in the fight, who's had quite a game thus far, will certainly hurt, but don't forget about Demo, who's looking to get a little gully, pushing in there. Demo's going to find God plays. That's going to be a sweep right through. Demo with 3, and now, just as we were saying that they lost Strafey early on, that just shows what Demo is bringing to the table in this game and the aggression that he's putting out there. Good to see that from the vet.
Yeah, drop shot for active. Not going to get the first or second shot here. He's trying to contest, but full red in one shot, and he's going to miss that shot as well. So not able to stay alive for his team. Triple cap domination coming out. Players are coming off respawn, though, but so far this round, Task Force putting it on him.
I mean, there were 2 objectives for them. Win boom, win drop shot. They succeeded in one, but the boom was more important than the drop shot in that situation, in that moment. There were so many players sacked there, so many bodies invested into that moment. And for them to not be able to, at the very least, capitalize on eliminating Strafey early, that just hurt them, and the drop shot just did nothing for them in that case. It was, I don't know, I mean, would you have put the drop shot there in this round?
I like the placement. The problem is I don't agree with the initial, I mean, they only sent one guy over to drop, and I think drop is a great thing to contest boom shot. Boom shot's great. As you can see, boom shot is a lovely weapon to have, but as long as you have that drop shot, you can still contest it more than you could ever do before. So I like to see them play at least 2 players on drop side, maybe 3 on boom side next time.
I like Flash's, his play here, what he was thinking about doing to just try and force the hand, but they only needed to send 1 player there to clear it out, and that is going to be it. The 4th round going to Task Force, and this is looking clean for Demo and the boys.
Indeed it is, my friend. You see them getting up, getting hype. They're excited to be here in Vegas. They want to, again, hit it big here with a win, and then even going forward, use that momentum to kind of snowball it to a victory here on Saturday and even on Sunday.
No one from Aspire has been impressive thus far in this game. It's just been all Task Force. Demo stepping up, Strafey early on, just establishing that dominance. Who from Aspire is going to take that? But I mean, look at the scoreboard here. Just nothing really that's just standing out to me. You got Flash and God plays with the highest kills in their team, but beyond that, man, it's just been flat.
Yeah, and you got to, I think, do a better job of shooting for your team. Again, they're great shotgun players, but this is a team game, and especially when you have boom and drop shut down, those initial fights, you want to put some damage in before you get right in their face. And we're seeing Strafey putting out all the damage he needs, getting another kill off the initial, and just, man, being a nuisance on that hill.
And again, Strafey getting that first pick. He has just been the guy on the move. Boom shot is going to be down, and there you go. Rep Solid finds 2. Actives with the pick up onto Detox now. It's going to be a battle, but no! Neg just dominates.
That cannot happen. Another big play from Neg. He has the boom shot 1v1 versus Flash, who's actually probably on the other side of the map. So big play, 2v1. And when you're down 4-0, Golden Boy, you cannot allow it to happen.
Look at this. He's just going to run right into B because he has everything at his disposal. He has nades, he has boom, and he did not get that kill quite yet. A little short on that shot, but he will have support. Flash goes down. He had the drop shot there as well, and Demo with the cleanup.
So now he has support from his teammate there. I don't completely agree. I mean, he tried pinning him with nades, I get it, boom shot, but he had a teammate rotating over. They could have just 2v1'd him, kept the nades, kept the boom shot, and then rotated from there. So I don't like that play from him after a big double kill.
I didn't like that he used both nades. That was the thing that I wasn't really too much of a fan of, and they're just trying to swap the guns here. There you go. Okay, some teamwork makes the dream work. And he's going to get rid of the boom shot, give that over to his teammate Strafey. 16 kills for him, and he's playing the right side here, just waiting for any of the members of Aspire to push up. They have control with B and C. They're gaining a solid amount of points, but here comes Blast. But Demo, man, Demo with 3. This guy, 16 kills for him as well. The veteran is slaying on the main stage.
Yeah, Aspire on the back foot here. It's going to be Demo bouncing Task Force, pushing up now, contesting the home hill. 4 players dead, only Flash remains. Rep Solid coming off spawn. I think it's all over here, 5-0 for Task Force, unless he can somehow put some wings on, fly over there.
No, he can't. He can't fly over there. Task Force is taking their lunch money right now. Aspire has nothing. They showed up to school,
bullying them,
and all they can get is some chocolate milk. That's just about it. Maybe like 1 egg that's raw, but beyond that, Task Force is taking everything.
Maybe a pretzel rod.
No, not even a pretzel rod. Not even one solo pretzel rod that comes out of the bag. No, they're taking everything.
That's a problem, I think.
This is a problem.
They're hungry. They're not showing it, though. I mean, double-digit kills for 4 to 5 players from Task Force. nobody in double digits over on the side of Aspire. And again, they're known as a pretty good slaying team. So a bit of a surprise there coming out in this map. 5-0, just no answer for anything. Even when they had the initial one momentarily, they were shut down immediately by Neg and Task Force.
Got to look for that first pick. Who's going to get it? Godplay's going for the nades. Maybe with the grenades, he can try and open things up as he tosses a few over to the pit. Does he get the kills? And he kills his own teammate there. Comes around the corner. Oh my God, don't get the hands. All right, at the very least, they were able to get the boom shot as well as the drop shot. So maybe they can take advantage of this. But those are just situations that you really want to avoid there. Nate still stays alive and picks up the double kill. Rep Solid and Godplays, they had weapons. They had utility, but they couldn't do anything with it.
And look what happened. They were too spread out there. They died in situations where they were not close enough to help each other one at a time there. And just, I think it's a little bit of inexperience coming from Aspire. And you're seeing the veteran leadership here from Task Force really take over.
But I like this position, though.
Last time he was in there, and no dice. And again, going to shoot a shot off, not going to connect. So for Actives, you got to connect here. Oh, a headshot, though. That's one. Looking for double.
Seeing that with a drop shot, pushes around the corner, but ends up again another team kill. Come on. That simply could not happen.
Are they colorblind? Or I'm not sure. Do they know that they're blue?
I mean, we get it. Good slayers, but you can't slay your own teammates, and especially in these rounds where the respawns are so high, you just can't afford that. Godplays over the kill onto Detox, and maybe we're going to see Aspire put a point on the board. 1 second remaining, and yes, finally Aspire make it happen. They got to wake up. They got to wake up. Now's the time.
Yeah, but look at their faces too. We saw them play Ghost on Side Station. When they won a round, it was 1-0. They were up screaming in their faces. I'm here. I'm here. And they went around here. I get they're down 5-0,
no,
but
you don't get up and scream.
I know.
You're
for this team, 5. You might. Maybe you want to.
You've been getting bodied this whole time. You know, you don't get up.
I'm yelling.
You don't.
I'm yelling.
You're okay. Okay.
That's one.
That's one. That's one win. And then what happens if they lose again? If they lose here.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right. Well, we have the reset now. Respawns are back to normal. And in the beginning of the game, it was all Task Force, Strafey and Demo, who were just winning in the pit. But now the fight's for E over on the platform. Nothing quite yet. No one has gone down, but I like that they're supporting one another. And there you go, Actives. I wanted to see him make some noise here, and that's exactly what we're getting. Godplays pushes up, takes out Detox. Not before he was able to remove Blast from the equation, though. Team, though, getting aggressive inside, and now we're starting to see Aspire hold this one down, force them back. They're going to need some support. 2 seconds remaining. The domination is denied, though, by Aspire. Actives with the kill, and I love what I'm seeing from Actives. Hit him with the 2, go for the 3, hit him with it. Oh, no, he goes down. But still, though, we're starting to see Aspire wake up here in this game, Deluxe.
Yeah, support coming in, Aspire, putting pressure on the home hill. Now it looks like they want to back off. They have their pedal to the metal. And now they're going to back off, play for the 2-hill cap. And we do see this kind of frequently with Gears of War teams that sometimes the first half doesn't go their way, but they are a much better second half team. And we're seeing right now Aspire trying to make that 2 rounds on the board for them. A healthy lead. They can play for damage here. Don't get too crazy, guys. Oh, they're going to allow Demo, though, just to push up in their face, get that kill. Rep Solid, and now Blast with another kill. 3, 4 dead for Task Force. And, man, Aspire is answering here in round number 7.
Last person's going to be Keeman. He's going to be hanging around the pickup truck. Going to need the support of his teammates, but Godplays is just going to send him back to the respawn. And now the domination comes through. Godplays, does he get it? Finds Detox, looks for the second. There you have it. Aspire with 2 now. And this is them starting to heat up. Exactly what we needed here.
There you go. Now you're getting up. That's 2 in a row now.
See, that's when it's
At
acceptable.
what point do you allow them to get up? 3 or 4?
I think 2 is acceptable. If you win 2 in a row, then that's when you get up and you're like, okay.
String them together.
You know, but you don't get up after 1.
Well, I mean,
that's why you're here with me. Okay.
You better hope I never play you in anything.
Yeah,
1 round win, I'm getting up.
Okay. Peggle tournament, me and you. Let's go.
15 kills for Actives, though. You know, we had.
You don't want to see these hands in Peggle.
I'm seeing that. Boom shot going down in pit, though. So we saw it already first half. Now we're on the second half. So even though the hills have swapped here, we'll see the same fight we pretty much saw before. That was won by Task Force.
And that was a smart placement for Task Force to put down the boom shot because they've been winning that battle handedly time and time again. Strafey has been leading the charge there. Detox with that first kill. Demo comes in with the pickup, finds a double for his efforts there. Here goes Strafey one more time as Actives is trying to stay up there, but he's going to hit him with a blind fire. And now it will be Flash versus Strafey. Does Strafey make it happen? Well, he will have a teammate there for support, and the boom shot will go to Task Force. Shades of what we saw in the first half of this game.
Yeah, kept himself alive, didn't force the 1v. You saw he kept that distance, actually rolled back, allowed his teammate to get that pistol out, put those last couple shots in. So heads up play by Strafey there, and we're seeing rotations come out now. Boom shot in the hands of Strafey. He's hiding himself very well. I'm pretty sure they know where he's at, though, at least in the general area.
Well, they know that he has it. They just got to point out where the other players are, you know, kind of count the bodies on the field. But I like this, though, just waiting it out. They have the advantage. If they want to push, they're going to be met with a boom shot. What does he elect to do here? He knows that a few players are hanging around the home, and here you go. Now Strafey's time. He's going to find Flash, maybe get the second as well, but he's going to get cleaned up right away by Actives. Actives with the big boy plays there. He's going to get the double as well onto Detox, make it a third, bust out the Lancer, throw down that fire. Yeah, you're going to run away from that one. You're down, and you're out now. And the boom shot goes to him because he couldn't pocket it in time.
Heads up play. I mean, just that's exactly what you have to do. Shotgun, Lancer, now boom shot in his hand. Actives leading his team and doing even more this round. Trying to make it a 5-3 game here. They're down in points, but boom shot is going to be a big, big thing for them. God play picking up a kill on Keem. Aspire answering back in the face of adversity. I like what we're seeing here, Golden Boy.
Yeah, this is Actives. Again, when I was watching in that Ghost game, he just seemed to be more of that support guy. But I like that he's stepping up in this role. I like that he's playing and making these plays.
And that was good how they took control of that boom shot. So basically they played it. They sent a guy out wide, try to get him to waste one till you lose a player, but you had Actives in position. As soon as he fired that boom shot, in there to get the chunk of him and take control of it. So that was a coordinated plan from Aspire. It wasn't luck. And I like what they do. And now Actives again trying to stay on the board with another kill and shutting everybody down. One more, maybe full red, looking to get around. If he gets this kill, I might get off my seat.
I just love that he's bouncing around, staying alive, being a distraction. He's going to have God plays there to help him out. Meat shield pickup for Keem, but Keem is going to go down. Maybe the domination, perhaps? No, they're going to get wiped out. But still, though, I love it. I love them just getting in their face, telling them, bring the fight to us. We want to get this W, get this third round in.
Yeah, they played for new boom, but look at Neg just chasing him down. I'm not sure if he pocketed boom shot or not. A 1v1 with Neg, and now a 2v1 taking him out. Demo going to answer with a double. And Aspire are going to lose their advantage. They're going to lose that boom shot on the ground and potentially in danger of losing the round if they can get a trip out here for Task Force.
Do you think that Aspire were a little too aggressive in that last push that they had?
I like they were playing for boom shot. I don't think they were too aggressive. It just was a matter of a better rotation coming from Task Force. Neg pushing forward while teammates supported. Getting that kill was very, very big. But now, one last chance, Golden Boy. One hill will win it for Aspire. Task Force has one chance to push for this hill and do it. Can they make it happen?
Aspire got to prevent them from getting to that 207 mark, but the kills all over the place for Task Force. Despite that, Aspire tries to answer back, but Neg's going to get the kill there, and Flash with the stop.
This is it, though. 1v1 for the win here. Is it going to happen? This is for the win, and Flash shuts him down. All he has to do is cap this hill, and they're too far away, and he's going to give him a little business there, you know? Let him know I'm still here, baby.
A little disrespect. Love
and
it.
Now you get up.
Now all they need is just to hold on to this, and there you have it. That is going to do it. They're going to be able to take their third round, and Aspire have won 3 straight in the half, Deluxe.
Yeah, and Demo with a nice flank, I want to point out there. Nice flank. Did his job, but his teammates around him weren't able to do enough to secure that final home hill break. But they're not worried yet. Demo looking angry, though. Look at these. I don't know what he's saying to these guys, but it is not good.
It is not good. All right, well, it's going to be the position. So denial over at the pumping station.
We got a game
here. For that boom shot. Yeah, this is what we wanted. We needed Aspire to wake up. They had to do it midway through, and now things are really changing here. Actives, 22 kills for him. Still, though, Demo and Strafey have been the superstars for Task Force in this matchup. They need to rekindle that flame that they had in the first half. They're able to do so. They can walk away with this victory. They're only 2 rounds away from doing so. They have it, but Flash, when you get that first blood early on, that's going to dictate the pace of the fight. Losing out on a player there. Once again, 2 members down, and this is it. Bad spot for Task Force to be in here as a few of the members drop immediately, and this is Aspire with full control, and now they're just looking to march forward and take this home.
I mean, do you feel the momentum shifting now? Do you feel the air being sucked out of Task Force? Now they're losing initial. Now they're not only losing the round, they're losing initials. God plays with boom shot, trying to shut it down here. 1 kill will not go out, so another miss from a boom shot we see here this weekend. Task Force still As one shot to get back in.
Why when I cast, boom shots are missed? I have no idea. But 1 second, and Aspire win 4 straight. It's a miracle on the main stage. They're coming back in this game. They're getting loud. They're getting energetic. This is a game, folks.
We got a real matchup here. Now we're going toe-to-toe. Started out heavily favoring Task Force, Aspire. Now they're looking like the team to beat. They're down 1 round, though, so now weapons are coming in. What do you want to play for here? Hammerburst would be a good weapon to support. I wish they would have taken a little more time to talk about it instead of just putting it down right away. But they must want to get back into the game immediately. 16 downs for Neg, 14 for Demo, a bunch of kills as well. Only 2 downs for Strafey, 4 for Detox, and none for Keem. No downs. We're 9 rounds into the game.
That's crazy.
That is a, tail of the tape, if I want to say that.
That just means he's chunking.
And Keem is known to pick up a lot of downs. He's known as a great support player and using all his weapons. So I wonder what's going on with him right now.
Hey, man, maybe he's just looking for those clean eliminations. But again, the initial is being won by Aspire as they manage to take down 2 members. But Neg, once again, steps up with a double kill. He's done it so many times in this game, and he shines yet again. Finally, though, Actives, the superstar for Aspire who stepped up. He's been the difference maker here. The boom shots picked up, but there were just members of Aspire. It was a sea of blue, and they're just going to wipe the floor with him. Boom shot now in the hands of God Plays, and they're looking to get aggressive at the home of Task Force.
Yeah, and in no position to help his teammate there. Keem with the ill-advised pick up of the boom shot. He goes down as well. Act is now on board with him and just feels, again, the momentum on the side of Aspire right now. God Plays and Blast breaking ice yet again. So they're doing everything right here to make this a 5-5. A little more time left on the clock. But look at it already, Golden Boy. 44, now 45-0. And the respawns are coming in, but advantage Aspire.
I wonder what happened with God Plays there, because he had the boom shot and then he ended up losing it. While he was able to pocket it, still, the fact that they won out boom, they should have been able to control the home, but they weren't able to do so. Those are things that you cannot allow to happen at this point in the game.
Yeah, I don't know how, to be honest, that Task Force has control of 2 hills right now. He had the numbers, he had the boom shot, like you said.
Huge initial fight that was won, and then they kind of just gave it up.
Yeah, maybe a misstep there, but again, plenty of time to come back here. Aspire starts over Actives, and now a turn and a burn from God Plays. He does not need that boom shot, he says. He has a shotgun. Demo last alive. Pressure coming in. One last chance here for Task Force to contest this home hill and contest the round.
Demo's got to be the superstar here, but he won't be able to stay alive as Blast is going to get the kill. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all tied up here on the main stage. Aspire bringing it back in the half. That's what you needed. Get loud. Get in their face. Let them know you just dropped 5 straight in a row. How do you do that?
5 in a row for Task Force, answered by 5 in a row for Aspire. And here comes the guys getting up now. Here's what I talked about. 1 round, not good enough. 2 rounds, maybe we'll get up. 5-5 though. Now we're getting loud. Now we're getting loud.
You won 5 straight after just being absolutely mollywopped in the first 5 rounds of this game. How are you gonna get up in that first round? No, but now you do. Now you get up.
All right.
Now you get in their
Lesson
face.
learned, Golden. I'm sorry for doubting you. My fault.
Listen, when I used to compete, I was a great trash talker. Okay, but it's elegance in the trash talk. That's what you need to understand, Deluxe. You can't just say mean words. You have to be crafty with it. That's how you trash talk like a pro. Take notes, kids.
All right.
Take
Note
notes.
taken, but look at, so we mentioned earlier, we've seen a couple times Neg with the big double kills, keeping him alive.
Yep.
But you have to ask yourself, how many times can he do that? How many times can you ask him to come back at a numbers disadvantage, pull up with a couple kills, and keep you around?
I agree, because that was a big shift for them in that initial. But again, Aspire have been winning these out. Now Demo's going to get that first blood there against God Plays. That's going to be a huge elimination. But the boom shot was picked up by Flash. Does he manage to make use of it, though, as he's going to run his tail between his legs? Players are dying. Does he get it? No. He shoots one out, doesn't hit anyone with it. His teammates are down. And he doesn't get anything with that kill as well with the boom shot.
The Golden Boy curse is real, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Boy boom shot curse. When this guy's casting, don't pick it up. Just might as well put it on your back.
Might as well. Might as well just pocket it, bro.
And now only God Plays up. They have not got their home yet. It's a little bit of time. Domination coming in. God Plays answering and gets headshotted by Demo. I don't think there's enough time to get to the hill, but maybe there is. Maybe I'm wrong. And here they come.
They're going to be circling around it. Around the D hill, the Demo is able to win it. Here comes Rep Solid and Actives. There goes the collapse, and they force him back. Keem and Detox now need to work together. Team picks up that meat shield to try and stay alive and use that snub to just put down a lot of damage. Domination once again coming through. But are the kills there for Task Force? It seems like they're going to get a little bit of a trade there. Detox manages to shine as he gets the double kill. 4 seconds remaining. GearsAdictos got to get back in there. He manages to leap over, but it won't matter because Detox finds a third, and that is going to be the shutdown. And finally, Task Force win one after dropping 5 straight.
Great answer by them. It got a little hectic there on the home hill. It was back and forth, a matter of 1 or 2 kills that would shift the momentum. But Task Force able to force it here to match point for their squad.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Deluxe.
I will.
They won the boom shot, and they did nothing with it.
Well, he tried to get out with the boom shot, so he took it, he backed out. The plan was to get boom shot, get out, back out of that fight, keep your numbers up, and play from there. Unfortunately, though, he took boom shot out. His teammates ended up getting slayed out
but it
by
felt like
Task
his
Force.
teammates just kept pushing. Like, despite them winning the boom shot, no one really retreated. Everyone just kind of kept trying to get those kills. I don't understand why that fell apart the way that it did, because they won boom shot and there was a little bit of delay, and then you started to see the player side. So it leads me to believe that they were engaging in a fight that they probably didn't need to engage.
Yeah, I think a couple of them definitely could have backed out. Some of them were already engaged, so a little bit of a half and half there. But like you said, but 2 boom shots missed as well, and not help their case.
Exactly, but that's going to be 2 down. Now 3 down, as a matter of fact, for Task Force, and the initial is going to be going to Aspire here as they clear the floor of Task Force. Back to the respawn they go. And Strafey actually being kind of staggered out there as well. That is going to hurt them because they're going to lose out on a big Slayer, and he's out of the action for the next 12 seconds.
5 dead.
Boom shot.
Boom shot on the home hill already. Players are off respawn now. In truck, he's gonna go down with it again. God plays for the second time in this match. It goes down.
I am not crazy. They are not doing anything with the boom shot, Deluxe. They're doing nothing with it. How do you have boom in that position and you don't manage to make plays? That is absurd.
A misstep yet again here. It looked like an Aspire round. Boom shot on the home hill, all but over. But they allow Task Force to remain in this game. And sometimes that's a bad look at the end of this round.
Look, I get it. I'm new here, right? I totally understand.
Oh, you're not
that.
new. You've been here before.
I'm just saying, you know, please, everyone, correct me if I am wrong. It just feels very weird when you have a weapon as powerful as a boom shot and you're not able to do anything with it. Task Force now have a fighting chance.
And the thing is this, I mean, your God plays, right? You don't need the boom shot. You have 4 other guys on your team, amateur players, their first big spot on the main stage. Let them have the boom shot. You do what you do best, move around, shot call, have your shotgun lancer out, and maybe play like that. But yeah, I mean, Task Force not going to go away just yet. They have 1 hill. Demo trying to get a sneaky little flank yet again. They're going to call him out, though. Try to isolate him here, it looks like.
Yeah, Demo doesn't have a window to be able to jump through.
And the plays are here.
To get 1 player, though. Blast is going to be out of the fight. 18-second respawn for him. Do they get a follow-up kill? As Active is going to fall as soon as he came around that corner. While they do have control of E and F, it's only going to be short-lived. GearsAdictos, though, maybe he can keep something going. God plays and GearsAdictos working together. They haven't quite lost E yet. Now E is going to go to Task Force. But a significant lead has been developed for Aspire. God plays DBNO there. Then he's going to get wiped out. Now they just need to play around their home. This is it.
And we're going to have boom shot again coming off respawn. There it is, picked up by Keem. So look at the score. 1 hill to win for Aspire. The thing is here, you can't afford to turtle up on the home hill. You want to send players out to rotate and contest another hill. Keem in no rush. You got boom shot. You got 2 shots. You have teammates off spawn. You're down. You need a 3 cap anyway. So make sure you push here at the right moment. Grenades from Strafey. Demo has shocks. I mean, they have literally every weapon for Aspire. I'm not sure what they got to do here to stop this push.
They have all the utility, but they cannot group up. If they do, that will spell doom for this team. And I like that they're actually dropping back. If they're able to get at least 1 kill early on, that's going to be big. And they move in. That's going to be Demo. He's going to have to take a seat. Another player's going to go down as well. That will be Strafey. And they're so close from being able to make this happen. And they stand tall despite their best efforts of Task Force. Here comes Keem as he pushes forward to try and contest. But that is going to wipe them out. And all they need is that 1 hill. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a round 13 here on the main stage.
Wow, somehow all the weapons at their disposal, they tossed the grenades, the shocks, the boom shot, maybe even the kitchen sink, but it was not to be here. God plays getting his squad in position to clutch up on those kills. And now 6-6, they can take off boom shot here, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to get rid of boom and change the fight, that will be an option.
You know, if you would have said that earlier on, I would have been like, yeah, you know, you could probably remove the boom, but it's been a toss-up on who wins that initial around boom and pit. So I don't know if you necessarily get rid of the boom shot, and that's, exactly what they don't do. They keep the boom shot there. They realize that that is a very important weapon, and I think Task Force feel confident enough that they can win in the pit.
Yeah, we're ready for a hell of an initial right now.
This is going to be
This
fun.
is the round. Whoever wins that initial gets a boom shot. It's pretty much over. Long respawn, the longest we're going to get. Task Force, Aspire, only map number 1, and we're only in pool play. We're not even starting our bracket yet, so very excited for both these teams showing up here and giving it all they got.
Who is going to get the first blood as the players are starting to feel themselves out? Detox picks up the nades. He's waiting out. Strafey.
I'm nervous.
He's been such a big player in this game, but Detox is going to get the kill on some Flash. So that's going to be a long respawn for Flash here. Going to open things up. Rep Solid, he's so weak. Can't allow him to get the boom shot. He's going for it, but the boom shot has been picked up, and that is going to be a huge stop there for Task Force as they win out on the initial. They played it out slowly. They recognized that Aspire did not want to get reckless and push up, and that is going to be a big win for them. Question is, will they be able to close out this game right here? They have the tools, they have the utility. This is their time to end it.
They should end it. They have boom shot on the home hill. Flash gonna get in there. Try to contest. He gets it down on a player actually. Gonna get in the truck now. Needs to get another touch just yet. Players off respawn. Not gonna get in there. It looks like Task Force might have enough, Golden Boy.
They managed to stop Rep Solid as he pushes up. 3 seconds remaining. Can Actives get in? No, Actives will not be able to do it. And it was a hard-fought battle, but Task Force are able to get game number 1. But what a matchup that was.
Yeah, and I'm questioning there the strat call. We saw Rep Solid trying to contest boom shot, but where was the rest of his team? Where was the fire from them? They couldn't stop the pickup, and they couldn't stop that win.
With domination coming through, Task Force was able to hold on after almost losing it from being up 5-0. One thing I would like to point out between Neglected and Demo, their versatility and play style combined up to that last round. They had 51 kills and 35 downs. The fact that players can amass that many downs, how big is it to have those type of support players on your team?
You know, and that was really the big difference between this matchup. Right, so you have Aspire, they have a number of Slayers.
Yes.
And they were winning the initials. They were winning. As soon as we switch to the second half, when we have that E-Hill where it's condensed, you don't really utilize the team fire as much. You have to use your Nasher to really go into pit, and you have to fight for that boom shot. That's where you see Aspire thriving. They come out 5 wins. But then when you have Task Force and they sit back, they have the team fire. That's what Aspire's lacking, and that's why they couldn't come out on top. Ultimately, they have so much fire just coming at them. It doesn't matter how good you are with a Nasher if you're going to have 3 people crossing you out.
How underrated is it to have a player like Neglected on your team where he can get almost 20 downs a game?
I mean, he's kind of been given a tough time over the course of the circuit, being a player that he's changed a bunch of teams over the course of events, but he's really showing what he can do with all the weapons. And, I mean, I want to also call out Demo there for the strat call last round.
Yes.
Superior strat call over God Plays and Company, and that's why they won the last round.
Yes, Golden Boy, what would you like to see from Aspire heading into map 2?
You know, I was harping on it quite a bit, and I want to get everyone's thoughts on it. I mean, if you win the boom shot, statistically speaking, you should win the round. Am I crazy, Cleaner? Am I drinking the crazy pills?
Okay, so I'm observing it. So I'm like, okay, boom shot. Okay, use it. Okay, let's just say Actives is the only player on that team that needs to pick up boom shot. I was actually going to commend him because when he had boom shot, he was showing a lot of patience with it. He hit every shot. He had 2 booms, but he hit, you know, it's not that difficult to get a kill with boom shot, but considering what we just witnessed, I don't know, maybe it is.
Well, Golden Boy is, you know, he's here.
I mean, but
clearly,
you know, you have Godplays, who's a phenomenal Slayer. You pointed out perfectly. Hand that boom shot to somebody else. Go in and slay because he's in his comfort zone with this Nasher. So he's switching to his Nasher, you know, when you can just back up, utilize the boom shot properly.
Yes, I'm very happy. Congratulations to Task Force for winning that map. It was pretty close. But before we head into map 2, let's watch a little video about Task Force. Task Force led by Demo Bounce, the in-game leader that leads by example. How important is it to have your leader in the front lines getting kills and downs like he did?
I mean, it's huge. It's no other way to say it. It's completely huge. We could see Demo a lot of times he leads, but sometimes he's, the low man on the kill count, the low man on the down count. But to step it up like that for your team, not only in a leadership role, but in also slaying department, it's a very big move.
Yeah, yes, I totally agree. Totally agree.
And taking another look at the map bands to picks, the second map will actually be Foundation. What does this mean for Aspire?
Aspire, with Foundation, you're going to have some close quarter fights. I think we are going to see them slaying out on the B hill. I think Aspire, I think they have the advantage on the early rounds, the first halves. But when we see the later half where you're going to be utilizing the team fire again, those home hills, I think that's where you're going to see a little bit, Task Force kind of pull up.
Quick question, though, because I was talking to Sleepy about that, and they played him in Foundation. That was actually the map that Aspire beat Ghost on. And he had a really interesting point that I kind of want to pose to the panel here. He said that with a lot of these amateur teams that you don't really know too much about, Foundation's a bread and butter map, right? It's a map that everyone loves to play, and everyone knows how to play it. So when you take a amateur squad onto a map like that, they feel a bit more comfortable, and that was one of the reasons why they felt like they were caught off guard against Aspire. Do you think that in this particular instance as well, it's going to be the same thing for Task Force and the Aspire roster? Are they going to catch them off guard?
I think so, because when you look at DAM, for example, you're going to have Task Force, they have the advantage because they have that experience with the crossfire, with the team fire. They're going to be shooting for each other, so they're going to have a one-up. Now, Foundation, they play on it so much. Aspire, they're going to feel more comfortable. They're going to get a little bit more loose. And, we saw Blast dropping – I was watching Pool play yesterday. He dropped 40 kills on Foundation.
I don't think he's dropped less than 30 kills yet.
No, he's been absolutely going off. But he's so comfortable on this map, this roster. They're comfortable on the map. And like you said perfectly, it's because they play it.
It's going to be interesting to see how things play out because when you look at Aspire, this is a team that can win off of initial down in the middle. But also on the level of Task Force, you have Neglected and Demo with support, and you have Strafey and Detox running around as a Slayer. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that would turn out. But in terms of using teamwork and team fire, do you think Aspire has evolved a little bit throughout this tournament?
I mean, I think each round they played, each game they played, they've gotten a little bit better. We saw it, last game, perfect example. They're down 5-0. They're kind of playing kind of scattered around, not shooting for each other. But as the rounds went on, they started to creep back in together, talk a little more to each other, and crawl back in that game. And again, it was 6-6. I want to just stress 6-6. It was all about that initial call. If they would have called a better initial, if they would have had a couple more players rotate properly, it could have been 7-6 Aspire.
I'm actually going to I'm going to say this. I don't think Aspire has improved on that because they seem to be relying on the shotguns. They seem to be relying on diving in and then just trying to nasher their way to victory. They definitely need to work on crossing. That's the reason why they got outplayed by Demo and Task Force.
Crossing and rotations and properly utilizing these power weapons. I was triggered just watching that with the boom shot. If you're putting down a boom shot, you have it. It was 3 times. 3 times they lost boom. When you have a power weapon such as boom, utilize it properly. Make the call out. Make the rotations, right? Have your teammates bait somebody out or use it to push someone out of cover. We had so many missed booms and just missed opportunities where no shots were able to be taken.
I'm pretty sure
properly utilize your power weapon.
I'm pretty sure we'll definitely see a lot of boom shots this round on Foundation. We're going to kick this off on map 2, Task Force against Aspire.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Now it's time to get into this game. Can Aspire bounce back after losing that game against Task Force? I mean, it's a tough question because in their Ghost Gaming matchup, they rode that momentum. But I think, again, to kind of harp on what I mentioned before, Foundation, this could be their map.
Yeah, and it all depends on that last map, that round 13 they just lost. How long is that going to sit in their brains? If they already erased it from their memory, they might have a better chance here. If they harp on that loss just now on map 1, that could be their downfall. But we're going to see here on the initial, players are already in open. Neg gets the first kill, Strafey the second, and it looks like Task Force is opening up on this team already.
Here we go, the initial going for Task Force. Actives, does he try and do something? Oh, wait a minute. Keen kills
what is going on?
Stay alive. Okay, we can get some semblance of order in the world in this situation. The fact that he did not die early on was absurd, but still, they were able to rectify that fall.
Yeah, but all in favor of Task Force. Right now, they're going to see a player coming through open. And Detox going to fight that 1v1. Did not wait for his teammate to get over there, and you saw what happened there. It was taken out by Blast. Again, looking for another kill here. And it looks like now is a chance for Aspire to take control of the B hill and put their numbers there. Top table rotation coming out though, smartly from Task Force. That's the play. You lose B, you rotate top table.
Strafing is going to be out of that one, just gets wiped out by Blast. Playing around for C, and they're able to obtain that objective. Now it's about looking forward to A, looking to get the Task Force home. Demo though, he's waiting around.
Uh-oh.
Do they know he's there?
Here. No, I'm not here. I'm not there. I'm just having a good time
Oh my God,
here.
everyone's, I mean, surely they have no idea.
Just looking at my iPhone real quick.
Push for it. Oh my goodness gracious, he runs right through. He's able to take out Rep Solid, but can he follow it up? Teammates there for the pickup, so he's back into the action, and that was just a very well done play by the veteran. And now they collapse forward. They recognize that they have him with their tail between their legs. Their backs against the wall. Flash trying to stay alive, but Demo gets the double kill, and that is going to be a win on B. I love that play. Good job, Cleaner, on finding that one. That was a good moment.
Yeah, thank you for that, Cleaner, and definitely a big play in the round. Still a close game. Head down, he's active, looking for that kill, but doesn't get the shot. When you play it like that, Golden Boy, if you don't hit that shot, you're going to go down, you're going to die, and you're going to lose your numbers. On the home hill, though, Task Force coming off respawn. A small lead for them, but looking to build here and potentially trip cap here on the home hill.
The domination for Task Force in effect, and that is going to do it. The first round going to Task Force.
Great job there, staying composed. They're looking cool. They're looking like not getting too frazzled here. 1-0 in maps. Task Force is up 1-0 in maps, and they're up 1-0 in round count now. Demo's laughing as well. I love seeing that. Now weapons are going down. Torque bow currently being hovered on. We don't see it too often on B, but maybe they'll change it. Maybe they'll leave it. 10 seconds left, taking their time. They want
use that time, man. Use that time to talk
coach
about
them up
what you
here,
want
you
to
know.
do. Hammerburst is going to go down, so not bad at all on that one. I mean, you know, that's a smart decision. You're going to have that support weapon long range to be able to help out, especially as you look for that fight down below. But here we go. It's going to be interesting to see how this battle at the Pistons plays out, but also who wins the initial in the mid.
Mirroring strat, 2 on one side, 3 down middle. Demo actually gets there first, but just because you get there first doesn't mean you're going to be there last. Their shots are already coming in for Aspire, trying to use their numbers, but all players are up. Demo's hurt, but again, he's being sneaky, not getting himself into the spotlight, now chasing down those kills.
Yeah, they had mid, so that's why Demo was able to just play that one slowly, did not opt to push up when he didn't need to. The initial going in their favor. And this has just been a Task Force roll through as B goes to them handily, forcing Aspire to have to drop back, get their own home. And I like this, though, from Aspire, right? They decide, let's just play Crane and Tree. Let's get A and C. Pull that. You can go ahead and take B because there's not really anything of value here. They can rotate faster, if anything, to A from C. So this is going to be a good hold. Question is, will they be able to maintain it as 3 members of Task Force are looking to push up onto C? Blast, do you go for the push? You have 4 there. You have a lot of support. There's also a fight going on over by C as well, and that is going to be handily won by Demo and the boys. And now this is where, you know, you kind of split your focus up. I like the idea, but they were just not able to close out the players that were pushing up against them in time, and that ended up snowballing into a loss for them in that fight.
Yeah, and they got rotated on again by Task Force coming around, actually taking their home hill. So I would have liked to see the break come in from Aspire on their home hill. They got a couple kills, and now you can back out. You have the numbers now. Now we rotate back to B. We take B because these are short respawns. You're not going to be able to hold that home hill unless you slay them out, which they did not do that. And you see what happens here. Task Force, a nice lead building. 2 hills to 1 as well. Pressure on Aspire to come back here and answer.
They're just tagging him up in the mid. Maybe a fight at Pistons. Can they win this? Well, Flash is going to be able to get the kill onto Keem. Can he follow it up with another one here? Player around the corner. Blast with the support onto Neg. Kill there, follow through. Demo's going to be in the cloud, and he's just going to go back to respawn there. So that was a good fight, which I honestly did not really expect. You know, huge shout out to Blast there for getting that second kill and the support that they were able to give one another. Swarm's going to dominate in just a couple seconds. Can Aspire get a point on the board? So close. The challenge coming in, but Keem's able to stay alive. Can he keep it going? Can he keep the drive alive for his team? It seems like they're going to be able to live to fight another day. As one of the members of Aspire, Rep Solid, He's going to get out of dodge. Very low on health, and he is finally down. But that was a very, very desperate situation for Task Force, and they managed to shine through. Now they're looking to dominate on the other side. They got to be very wary of this.
Godplays picks up a big kill on the other side of the map. There's 4 players at B for Task Force, so there you go, Godplays, recognizing 4 players on one side of the map, rotate to their home, break it, get the cap, and get out of there if you can. You have a lead, 158 to 153. You can't quite, you can win on 2 here, and even 1 at a certain point, but you can't play it passive just yet. So I like what I'm seeing here from the Aspire team entering back in round number 2. Can they stay alive here on the home hill, Golden Boy?
It just seems like what they always try and do is they play these home hills. They play A, they play C, but they simply just do not rotate in time to be able to support one another. 3 seconds left. That's going to be a clean wipe, and that is going to do it. Task Force will get the second point. And I like what Aspire were trying to do there. They had Flash hanging out over on the over on that bridge, like the overpass, looking and just seeing if anyone was going to try and cross. But they were just not getting each other's backs in time, and because of that, it ends up just going horribly for them.
Yeah, and again, the shorter respawns, you can't afford to put players on the home hill and be pushed on 3-1, 3v2.
It feels like they're not confident to win the fight in Pistons.
I mean, they could have backed out too. It was a close game. It was 150-5 to 150. Nothing crazy. I mean, again, you can't afford to get slayed out there in that moment, which they did. So a little bit of inexperience maybe coming from Aspire. Godplay's trying to do all he can, but might not be enough here. As we're here on map number 2, 1-0 in Maps Task Force, 2-0 in rounds, trying to make this a 2-0. Going forward here into pool play.
Now it's a very familiar situation for these two teams. The fight at the boom shot. Who's going to get the initial? Neg manages to secure it, and he's going to follow it up with a kill right away. 2 players down on each side. Flash, though, is going to stay alive along with Actives for the brief moment. Actives was able to get the kill. Can Flash stand tall? Yes, Demo is going to go down. And that will be an initial 1 for Aspire, as well as the boom shot gain. Now traded out. Okay.
Oh, trying to.
Maybe. Okay. There you go.
Here we go. So
it's like they try so hard to do it, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh no, wait, now it works.
Me, you.
me. It's just a classic night at the Roxbury.
They won the boom shot, Golden Boy, and what does that mean for you?
Well, they got to get kills with it, man. He'd seen them with the boom shot before. And
oh, it's Godplays again, though. It's Godplays again.
Oh.
Did not listen to us. His first kill, direct hit, gets 2, actually.
I take everything bad I said about
apologize.
you.
I actually said he should pick boom shot every round, I thought, right?
Did you really say that?
I'm pretty sure I said it.
I don't think you did. I think you said he should have the national.
Watch the VOD then. Watch the VOD.
Okay. We'll hold you to that one. But that was a nice double kill to open up the fight. Godplays. 1 shot, 2 kills. You love to see that happen. Fight for B is taking place. Godplays again follows through, and Godplays has just been on point this round. That initial fight down low, winning it out like that, gave them the motivation to be able to maintain control in this game. Now Detox on the move in C, but he's going to get down right away. Is anyone there to support him? It will be Strafey. 2 other players pushing up, Keem and Neg. Keem follows through with a kill onto Rep Solid. Can he get another one, though, as he's tucked in the corner? You can't put Keem in a corner. Does he win it? Oh, he's going to die. Blast will follow through with the kill. And now Demo. He's looking to just be Demo against the world here.
And they're looking like Aspire last round. Demo pushing up, gets 1, has more players off respawn. He has to either get out or get some kills and cannot do either of those. Active shutting him down.
That was just a tough one. I mean, even if he tried to dip down low, he was just in a really tough spot there, Deluxe. There's really no angle for him to take that would have helped him out there.
But what he did do is he stalled time. As you saw, boom shot picked up for this Task Force squad. It's going to be Detox in his hand. 2 players do fall, though. So can he do enough here? We're on board with him in the corner, waiting patiently for his moment. 150 to 100 is the lead for Aspire. So triple cap is required to win the round. They have the boom shot. They don't have numbers yet. They will momentarily.
Yeah, he was just waiting for players to come up so that they could start to make their move. 2 shots in the chamber. Now we have that fight, and Demo, he's going to get the kill onto Godplays, and then there you have it. Detox over to Flash. Goodbye. 2 players down. Now they just got to go in for the trip cat. They're going to stop B. But I like what Actives is doing here. He's getting in their face, and he's looking for the shot. He doesn't want to kill his teammate here. 198, 199. Now they're over to 200. They got to go and fly over to C. They have to fly to C, but if they don't get there by 207, and that is going to be curtains, and they don't make it happen. And this round is going to go to Aspire, finally getting a point, but very different from what we saw in game number 1, Deluxe, where they were just being wiped out time and time again, 5 rounds straight. Now Aspire fighting back, and this game has been very different in comparison to what we saw earlier on Dam.
Yeah, and I like how they close that round out, recognizing they need 1 hill to win. They send actives over to their home hill to contest, to kind of be a nuisance, delay it, and then at that point they got a split push. They can't put all their numbers to 1 hill, and it worked out in their favor. Close at the end, a second or two before they got there, but enough time on the clock to win that round. 2-1 now. Yeah, great job by Aspire getting over there.
Credit to actives too. He challenged on the home and delayed things just enough, didn't allow them to be able to use the boom effectively.
He got a kill too.
Yeah, he got a kill. So it's just a really heads-up play from actives, who has been very impressive in this series thus far. Here we go though, the initial. Who wins this first fight? You have actives versus Detox over at B.
Yeah,
It's all about that boom shot.
Look what's happening though. I mean, Actives has a shotgun out. Detox Lancering putting plenty of damage in. We're seeing 2 players, 1v1, play it very differently. Can't cut to open. So literally Actives did not do a single thing that round for his team other than go down early.
Yeah, he knew that he was in a really bad spot. Rep Solido in a 1v2, but he won't be able to stay alive down low. And the initial is 1 for Task Force. And
Maybe the round.
This is a good start for them, especially after how round 3 closed out.
They got numbers. They're trying to force a trip gap here. Coming in. Gonna be Flash trying to get that touch.
Easy. Oh my, that is a very different round from what we've seen in the first 3. Clean. Ran in, won the initial, spread out, recognized that they had more time to work with because those players were on the respawn, and then they were able to end that game. End that round, I should say.
And again, Detox is playing it better on the B hill there. We saw what he did. He put pressure on, forced actives to cut, and then at that point he was already full red. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't help his teammates out. He couldn't get it out of there.
Because he's getting called, I'm sure, to come to mid to help out. But he knew that he was just in a really bad spot. But instead of him trying to wait to rejuvenate some more health, he decided to go straight forward, thinking that he had that safe angle. But the Lancer.
Yeah, the problem was he was trying to catch Detox on a reload of the Lancer.
Yeah.
But he had too much damage on him, trying to push forward. He kind of tried to play 2 different games. Hey, I'm going to push Detox, kill him real quick, and then I'm going to rotate. And then he decided, okay, I can't kill him. Let me get out of here. But you know what happened there.
Yeah, that really did set the tone for that round. And then when they lost out, I think it was God Plays early there. So here we go. Round number 5. Again, that fight for the boom shot is going to be so important. We say it time and time again. Such a strong weapon. Strafey can't afford to go down early here, and he's able to stay alive thanks to his teammates. Any kills coming through. Actives did get a grenade. Doesn't use it.
What is going on there?
You picked up the boom shot and you just exposed yourself, and you lose that fight again. Actives is all by his lonesome. His teammates are on a long respawn. He goes and picks up A, but he is getting crossed to hell, and he is out of here. 5 seconds remaining. Is anyone going to be able to respond in time? It seems like that will not be the case. And celebratory team kill for Keem in just 3 rounds. And Task Force will take this victory. A huge win for them after being 0-2 in this pool. Aspire falling to Ghost Gaming earlier in a very intense matchup, losing game number 1 in an intense Dam. These two, I mean, honestly, Aspire, the story for them has been just one step.
Yeah. And, I mean, they came back first map. They forced it all the way to a final round. It's 4-1 now, Golden Boy. I'm not sure if they can repeat that performance and bring it back. I mean, they still have a chance, of course. What do you think from what you've seen? Can Aspire once again bring it back?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to count this squad out yet, but I got to give the shout out to Detox and Demo, really. Demo has just been amazing. You know, Vel talked about how important it is to, how is it play into the mindset of the team to have your shot caller also slaying out the way that he's doing right here. I mean, come on, man. That is just some great Gears of War that Demo's playing. Showing why he's a veteran, but he's going to get chunked, though, by the other vet on the other side. God Plays, and that's going to be, was it a team kill as well as another stop onto Strafey. So at least Detox, he's the only one left alive.
Yeah, and Demo with a nice call in the beginning. What he did there, they isolated actives at B, Demo called it out right away. We're going to isolate your kid. We're going to 2v1 kill him real quick, and then we're going to rotate out. Exactly what happened. Actives had no idea he was cutting from open.
And now they have no idea where he is. They do not know where Detox is presently. So they know he has Boom, so they just need to be very careful.
Yeah, check your corners, guys. Check all those corners. Don't be running in blind. And don't group up either.
Oh, yeah,
that close.
That's like the worst possible thing that can happen. A big round win for Aspire here if that happens. So bouncing back into this game. There goes Detox, and he's going to get the kill onto Blast. Now the push goes in as they're going to send him for that long respawn. A lot of time where you lose out on Blast. Detox staying alive here, man. This has just been, for him to just be that last player left alive and playing sneakily around the map, not letting them see his position. This has just been very well done by Task Force.
Yeah, Task Force coming back yet again. They have 2 hills. They have a lead they're about to take here in round number 6. Again, longest respawns we're going to have. 3 players will fall for Aspire, and it's not looking good here, Golden Boy. So here comes Task Force again, pushing numbers. They got support weapons, they got the shotguns, they got the skill right now to do this.
Yeah, this is not looking bad at all, Deluxe, for Task Force, but bad for Aspire. Are they able to stay alive? No. That is going to be domination. 2 rounds. Task Force can close this game out. They're getting loud.
Yeah, and this is going to pretty much, well, not pretty much, but if Task Force is not able to win this, that's going to put them down to loser side of the bracket. So their hope of winning that second place spot in this pool is going to go all by the wayside for this team.
Here we go. Big round for Aspire.
Detox, 18 kills, 15 downs in 6 rounds.
Yeah.
3 downs a round. My math is right?
You did it. That's a good job, buddy. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
I know. I see you with your Texas Instruments calculator, just pounding away at the numbers. But look at this here. We get a trade immediately. Flash with 2, though, and now we start to see Aspire make some plays. God Plays is going to be lead in that one. That will be 2 doubles that send them right back to square one. Team is going to have that support there from Neg, and that will allow them to be able to reclaim their home, get some points on the board, but though it will be Aspire who manages to start off strong in the initial.
Eerily similar to map number 1. It was 5-1 map number 1, and when we got to our second half, that's when Aspire came back. They started forcing the issue, being, I think, more aggressive, and they brought it all the way back to a 5-5, then 6-6 in around 13. So plenty of time left again here, but can history repeat itself one more time?
I mean, at this point in time, man, they cannot allow, they can't allow themselves to go into this position so many times. To do this 2 times in a row, that's going to be very difficult. And Aspire, while they are strong on the opening rounds, they're very strong in those rounds, right? Because they rely on their Nasher skills to win out these battles, whereas Task Force seem to be playing around the team fire, trying to cross. They're just getting in their face. And in these opening rounds, when the respawn is so low, they are taking advantage of that. But it really hurts them in those later rounds. But this has been a good start for Aspire, who have ENF control. They're about to cross 150 points, getting dangerously close to that point of no return where Task Force just need to get a trip cap in order to win.
Short respawns too, so they definitely have a shot here, but I like the way that Aspire is positioned. They're set up here, they're committed to this. It's going to be a split push coming from the Task Force squad. Let's see if they can do this. Strafey, the first of the party. Detox holding his hand right behind him. They're going to contest the home hill first here, try to get these kills, and then move on from there. Players are in, shots are going out. Flash with the first kill, though, and it's shut down Task Force. 3 numbers, 3 players on the home hill. And a rotation from actually Aspire to their home hill, so a sneaky play coming from Blast and God Plays. And it looks like this could be a healthy round for Aspire.
Yeah, they needed to push up as soon as possible, but the domination will more than likely be ineffective. Not necessarily needed, though, because it is curtains, and Task Force will fall in this round 5-2 Aspire. I mean, I don't want them to have to come back.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the
if it happens again,
gut-wrenching performance?
If it happens again, it happens again. But I mean, Aspire at some point can't allow these. You know, this to continue like that, right? They have to. They have to start winning those opening rounds, or else you're always going to be playing with your backs against the wall, and that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, dig yourself a hole so many times. I mean, eventually it's going to get too deep. Can't get yourself out of it.
You're so philosophical. You're like a young Confucius.
Who?
You didn't go to school. You didn't go to school.
I'm messing with you, Gold Boy.
You don't know math.
No, but who is it?
I said Texas Instrument Calculator. You gave me a very.
I didn't have one. They were too expensive. You know, they were a lot of money.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford that.
Oh boy.
I wasn't a Gears Pro back then. I was throwing my money away in open bracket.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. As the round starts, who's going to get that first kill? Strafey. Hasn't been much of a name that we've been seeing in this game, but Task Force will get that first stop, though. Trade starting to come in. Blast is going to be out, losing out on a huge player there. Strafey with the follow-up kill onto Godplay is going to earn them the boom shot. And poor guy, he's just staggered here.
Yep, bad spot, put himself in a corner. You know what happens there. Still one player up on the home hill for Aspire, but man, numbers going for Task Force. Boom shot in their hands. This should be a round they can win here. They should be able to hold on to this, but we've seen stranger things happen in the Gears Pro Circuit.
We have two members of Aspire trying to stay alive, but the boom shot's going to wipe out actives.
See, I still wish he would hold that shot. I don't know. I mean, it's a 2v1. He's already have damage into him. He could have pulled a pistol out there and just finish him off. I mean, hold the boom shot in case you need it in a later round. So I didn't like it too much, but I got the kill. So
yeah.
I'm not going to fault him too much, but
you just don't want that guy to clutch out in that moment, right?
yeah. But well, they were at a distance, so they weren't within chunk range either. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that you don't know.
I'm just calling it how I see it.
It's worrisome that you don't know. Keem uses that other boom shot onto Flash. Now here we go. The push onto F. They're going to try and collapse. Demo is going to be the lone gunman here.
2v1. Take your wide angles now. You got players off respawn. Be careful. Oh, great job with the down there. He's coming in for the revive, though. It's going to be Detox getting the kill and the revive. 1v1 now. Fight going down straight for straight. He's weak. Who's going to get the win here?
So weak.
Oh, he walks forward and disrespects him.
He's going to get the chunk. That's going to be 4 players down. God plays off of the respawn, though. Aspire need to bounce back here. They're holding down on D. This has just been quite the round here, right? Back and forth. You know, at one moment Aspire have control, then Task Force regain it, and it's just been very back and forth affair.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Boom shot coming on the respawn soon. You got to put your numbers in open. It looks like players are doing that for both teams, but Flash getting pushed down the home hill. They might try to even force a trip cap here, but E is going the way of Aspire. Boom shot coming up again. You got to watch that side. 3 players, I think, out of position here for Task Force. It might let boom shot get picked up by Aspire. They're going to let them get that boom shot. Questionable play, and it's already paying dividends to Aspire. They're going to rotate now to the home hill. They have one hill controlled. One more boom shot in the chamber. They got their numbers stacked as well. I'm not sure, Golden Boy, that was the right move for Task Force, but we'll see what happens.
This is going to be a really tough one. Rep Solid's going to get the kill onto Detox with the boom strafe. He's going to be the lone man standing in that moment. Because now they make that flip happen on D.
You can't give him the boom shot for free.
You can't.
Am I crazy now?
No, I mean you are, but you can't. I do agree with you.
You're right. I'm crazy.
You should be checked into a facility, but while I do agree with you, that doesn't change the fact that you are an insane person. But you're the only insane person I'd want next to me right now.
Oh man!
Look at that. You see?
My heart just literally came out of my chest.
Literally.
All over the desk right now.
It's disgusting. It's
blood and guts everywhere. And as well as this game here, we're seeing players again. Who's going to make the final rotation? 173 to 173. It's going to come down to these final kills here. Stravey already getting one. Demo looking for another. He's going to get this flank. It looks like can't get the chunk, but there gets the down.
Huge moment for Aspire as they're able to make that flip happen on F. So close from winning this one out. They're going to retake them in just a second. Demo has to make his way over to E. They are starting to bleed on E. Oh my goodness gracious. They crossed 200. Will they be able to do this? It's so dangerously close.
They got to get a touch on D. He's got to get a touch on D. Can't get in there.
7 on both sides, and that is going to go to Task Force 6-2. That was such a close round to the wire. And now Task Force are on match point, Deluxe.
Had to get a break. Couldn't get his toe in there to contest the hill. Godplay's not looking like the happiest guy right now. Maybe a little frustration sitting in for them, but saying, let's go, let's go. I respect that.
You have to. Yeah, at this point in time, this is it. This is a match that I think Aspire felt like they should have won. You know, you had Cleaner hyping him up quite a bit on the desk.
Yeah, it's true. Can't forget about that.
Everyone, you know, even you were a
But
fan.
I rebutted and I said, this task force guys, you know, a little more experience there, a little more firepower. So I love.
You just did that to go against.
I love Cleaner, but you know, he's also
That's
crazy.
what you did. We're all a little crazy, honestly.
6-2 though. It's the big round. I mean, you have to win every round from here on out. And just don't forget either, this is pool play. So despite Aspire being down, maybe even losing this map and going down to another loss, this is where you want to work your kinks out before the bracket. Make sure you work all your problems out, get to the bracket, you got to run through it from there.
Yeah, and just that matchup against Ghost was so big for them to be able to take Ghost like that, a team that, you know, has performed on the main stage, performed in the Gears Pro circuit time and time again. And despite getting that first kill early, it has still been anyone's game here. As Aspire trying to rally the troops, they end up losing out on Rep Solid there, so they are going to be a man down. Both sides, as a matter of fact, will be a man down. It will be Task Force. They gain control of D&E.
In control early on, D&E in control of the game, 1 map to 0 as well. We're here looking to see who can close out. You know, not about how you start, how you finish, and so far a great start for Task Force. Fight going down top table. Looks like Demo Bounce wants to contest here. 1v1 pushing up here. Has support fire coming in from his right, and it's going to be just enough to get that down. Drop shot picked up by Godplays. Breaking ice with that first kill with the drop shot, but now getting crossed out, getting double teamed. Great job by Demo, getting the down, the revive, and the kill. It's a 3-way win for Demo.
Strafey's playing against 2 members here of Aspire. But he's able to take out one. But he gets down to, luckily for him, teammates there for the support. Because of that, they will get control of the D hill.
Big fight for Actives here. He gets a misroll coming out from Demo. He's going to save him that fight. Now, though, 2 players in front of him. He sees them both, I think. He's not going to push up just yet. Support coming from the back. Actives now just completely running head down, not even trying to avoid any shots. He may go down here, may need a revive. Task Force pushing up. Godplays in position now to contest Neg as well. Team with the kill. Task Force really playing the numbers game well here, Golden Boy.
Yeah, and they're just lancering down that choke point, knowing that they have no other option but to push forward. Actives is going to get behind. I don't think Demo had any idea what was going on, but Neg with the follow-up onto Actives there. That could have got dirty real quickly.
Look at the lead, though. 165 to just about 100 points now. Again, 1 hill, it's going to be hit. They got boom shot. Strafey's getting kills. He's killing himself. He doesn't care. He wants damage. He's going to get it. Detox. 3 dead for Aspire. Not looking good. Going to take a miracle here, Golden Boy. Starts with Actives with the first kill, breaking ice, but only a few more seconds until it's too late. It looks like Task Force is going to win this one.
That's right. This is looking like a reality for Task Force here after a hard-fought game 1. They do make the break happen on E. They got to get there in time, but no one's there to make the stop happen, and that is going to do it. Task Force will take the win in this series 2-0 after that 7-2 victory there on Foundation. What a game.
Their lancers out. That's something we were really seeing that Aspire was lacking. There's a situation where Flash was hiding in perfect cover. He has an opportunity to cross someone out with his teammate, but what does he do? He pushes with the Nasher, ends up actually getting killed, but he could have had a free down.
Yes, congratulations, Task Force. But before we move on, we're actually going to transition a little bit to E United against the Ghost crew, where E United, they're up 1-0 in maps. But, I mean, speaking about Aspire, I mean, what did they do wrong? Was it the teamwork aspect that you said they were missing, that they just weren't catching on with?